Hello everyone, welcome. I'm RxOliver, these are my friends, and we're playing The One Ring. This is the Looming Threat, Session 4. I'm here as always with Max, David, Veritor, and Marshall, and the amazing talented Games Master, Logan Bryan. Take it away, sir.
All right. So, though for some it might have seemed days or more, it has been less than an evening since our company delved into the dark hole beneath some ancient, collapsed ruin of the Rudaur, searching for the lost people of Cran and the vile creatures that took them. And find them they did, in a dark den in some forgotten hollow of the earth. Even now, they stand against some new horror. It is the 27th of Rif in the 2965th year of the Third Age, and in the deep dark, the guttural hoots and calls of orcs and goblins surround them. Their foes' shadows cast large on the walls of the massive cavern in which they made their hall as the bonfire burns at the backs of the host. Outnumbered, our company stands against these scabrous servants of the enemy, bolstered at first by their besting a wave of the vile creatures. But a new foe has arrived, and this no servant, but rather a lieutenant of evil, the great she-wolf Garaf. Her last words in that rumbling, growling voice seem to reverberate in the cavern and into the shadows beyond. For I am Garaf, the first hound of the Witch King, the Fang of the North, and men scatter like leaves in my presence. And with that, we will return to our encounter.
Was it First Hound of the Witch King, Fang of the North?
The Fang of the North, yes.
Giraffe.
Garaf.
Cool, let's kill it.
Well, he's gonna figure out where he's gonna put people. That's the thing.
Okay, so she arrived at the end of the foe's action. So I'm gonna make sure everybody is everybody in the fight? Oh, Osric isn't. So we will add Osric. Or, sorry,
Eggo. Osric's in space in
wow,
a different universe.
Yeah,
Osric's
wait
in
a minute.
space.
Wait a minute. My brain is
far,
going.
far away.
Different Tuesday game.
Check out Coriolis the Great Dark, the Flowers of Algorab, also on the channel, run by Brian, starring half of us. It's awesome, folks. That's what he meant.
Yes, but if you think I'm gonna try and persuade Derek not to kill the any surrendered enemies in this case, you've got another thing coming.
Very
No,
nice.
it's a kill, more kill.
Okay, so it is the top of a new round as we rejoin our company here. So all of you need to decide on your positioning. Now, I will remind you, currently, Orlan and Egil are on a raised platform, pretty significant distance above the floor of this large cavern where the orcs and goblins have made their den. So you can both remain up here, should you choose to, in the rearward stance, regardless of how many enemies there are and whatnot. The problem is Egil only has a spear, if I recall correctly.
Correct. And how
So-
can I enhearten unless I can enhearten my friends from up here? And I don't think I can.
You cannot. You do have to be in the open
Exactly.
stance to be able to enhearten, to rally comrades. However, doing so will place you in close combat, so you can be engaged, as it were. So keep that in mind. So, if you want to enter the open stance, everybody else can, well, except for Orlan. I assume Orlan's going to stay in rearward up at and firing down since he's wounded. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Obviously, you can change that if you want to, but But if Egil would like to enter open stance, I will let you do so. But I'm gonna ask for an athletics test.
But of course, I'm eager to get down to assist my colleagues.
Okay, so why don't we do an athletics test first, as you scramble down the ledges and the cracks, and you know what? You've seen several of your companions go down. I'm gonna give you a bonus die because you've kind of watched their descent.
Mine was not
Maybe you
great.
have an idea of where some of the ledges are.
Oh, I hope I can make it in time, he says.
And the man is
fucking
coming to the
morning
party.
ago.
Let's go.
Okay, and I'm not weary and not miserable. So let us try.
Yeah.
That's a 1.
Well, that doesn't mean a failure. The total, unfortunately,
is a
means a
failure.
failure. So basically what that's going to mean is that you can go ahead and set yourself into open stance and move over there. But I'm going to apply a negative 1 die penalty on whatever you do for this round. As you kind of stumble and are hurrying to get down to where you need to be. And if you'll recall, remember to right-click on your token and select the appropriate stance in the far left-hand side of those buttons. Open is the kind of circular one.
Certainly.
I'm achievement hunting. I'm gonna unlock the completed the whole campaign in forward stance
In
achievement.
forward stance.
Yeah, just chop, chop, chop.
I want to know
keep
what's
chopping.
more aggressive than forward stance. That's what I want.
Is
Same
Erithel
stance.
remaining in forward stance as well?
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you'll recall, and if not, I'll remind you, that since you are currently outnumbered, I get to set the engagements. So, these orcs, I think, are going to target the gentleman in forward stance.
What's the thing we have once per session and that we need to remember about, Brian? Because I remember that we need to remember it, but I don't remember what it is.
Oh, well, first of all,
Fellowship
we need to
points.
restore it.
Fellowship
Yeah.
points, that's it, isn't it? We have 5 per
Yep,
session, and they're wasted if we
You
don't
did
use them.
spend them last time. You have 5. I'm refilling your 5 right now, so
And
you're back to 5.
What is it? It's a reroll on it. It's an extra dice.
No. So,
Can't remember.
fellowship points are used when you rest
When gain
to
hope.
recover.
Yes,
Hope.
yes, I remember now.
Yeah. Without which you don't recover hope when you rest. You just recover endurance. Okay. So yeah, those are our engagements. However, the group gets to act first. The company gets to act first with regards to their stances. So Derek is the active character. You have an orc soldier charging at you.
Yeah, and I don't have
bloodlust in his
I don't have the
eyes.
choice to go for this one because this one has engaged me, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do my thing with the thing, give it a swing.
Okay.
Where is it?
Targeted.
Ain't got a thing if you ain't got that swing.
Yeah, and I believe I've dropped my shield to the floor and I'm full two-handing it.
Oh wait, hang on. Actually, you saying you can't attack her is a good point. That brought up something.
Can I?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. That's something she has to do on her turn. So never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. So I believe that I put my shield aside and I am two-handing it. I believe so. I'm not sure.
Have you?
I think so. Did I?
I
think
on
I
your
did.
character sheet it says it's still equipped. If you want to drop it, you can.
No, I think I did unequip it because I think I went two-handed for this. I think I went from one-handed to two-handed stance. I'm sure I did.
Right. If that's the case, then go ahead and unequip it on
Right.
your sheet.
Okay.
That way it won't get confused if you have to
Yeah.
make a protection.
Shield unequipped.
There you go.
Okay. So, I don't think I've got much hope. Well, I've got 6. How much am I supposed to have?
What's your
Well, your max
shadow
is
at?
11.
So I'm just over half.
But
Oh,
your-
I want to be careful with it. Yeah,
But
okay.
your shadow is at 3.
Yeah.
And if your hope drops.
Oh, it's not the
below
half I'm worried
your
about.
Shadow,
It's the
you
shadow
become
I'm
miserable.
worried about. I'm gonna.
Correct.
You increased your hope with the last 2 fellowship points from 4 to 6 last time.
Correct.
I am going to use a hope point this time to try and murder this green skin bastard.
For just an orc that you've had experience pummeling down in one below before.
You're right. You're right.
your call.
No, you're right. I don't need it. I don't need extra. I don't need extra dice for this
Okay.
little grot. See, 24.
Looks like a solid hit.
24.
So it is not, however, a great success.
No, not a great success.
So let's apply all damage and states. You, so keeping in mind you've not killed him, go ahead and describe your strike.
So I'm only just getting warmed up. So he's only had like 270 degrees of rotation. That's why it doesn't fully hit him. And also, you kind of step
Are
back.
you just seriously just spinning?
He kind of.
I
I don't know. Like he switches directions. He uses a little bit of skill to switch direction and stuff. He mixes it up,
Okay.
but he mostly just spins it around two-handed. It's constantly going.
Do we?
So
Does Derek's fighting style have a name like Death Blossom or Killing Circles? Or...
It's the windmill.
I'm not
I'll
sure
let you
yet.
think about it.
I'll think about it.
Alright.
I will
I
think
think the
about
name
it.
is Spawn.
Right.
So far,
Derek reads very much like a Warhammer Fantasy roleplay dwarf to me in some ways, which is also fine.
I picture a slightly more cultured Slayer from the Warhammer fantasy
right,
setting.
right.
So
No
it's-
mohawk.
He's only just getting warmed up, so it's only like a 3/4 swing. So the guy steps back a little bit, and I just
So
kind of
he is
cut him open.
wielding a shield and manages to interpose the shield
Okay.
between you and him, and it hacks a chunk off of this poorly constructed non-dwarven wooden shield, but the orc is still standing and still fighting. That brings us to, I should pop out the counter tracker, that'll help me more. Erithil.
All right. Erithil is staring daggers at this hound,
Come on.
as that goes back to family history.
Mhm.
But he's going to deal with the immediate threat. Aranar singing through the air. And let's see here. Here we go. And we'll make the roll. Oh, drat.
I'm okay.
Off by one. Oh, two.
Not far off.
No, that's a miss.
Get back to some combat music. Okay, that's a miss.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a
So
miss.
Again, perhaps you were thrown off by your ire that you feel towards this great beast now, and it's
Mhm.
distracted you somewhat from this poor servant of evil that confronts you, but he manages to sidestep as you try to strike. Egil, a lowly goblin with a jagged knife rushes towards you. What are you doing?
I'm dodging to one side and calling on the party to mark the words of Bard the Bowman, in that heroes can take down monsters of immense power easily. Strike in the right place. Especially ones whose masters have already been defeated by humankind. Ha 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 ha!
That a rally
The wolf ain't
comrades, is
gonna
it?
like that.
That should certainly get the wolf to attack me.
Is that an
Can I claim a bonus dice for using Bard the Bowman's book?
You can, but also you're at a penalty die because of the
Yep.
failure on the athletics check, so they negate each other.
Okay, fine. So that in that case, I'm going to throw a point of hope in as well,
Okay.
because it's important that I inspire the two guys in front.
is this?
Now, technically, you are, although it's potentially going to help everyone, it could also help Orlan. So I'm going to give you your fellowship focus bonus for using that hope point as well.
So that's a bonus dice, yes?
Wait, isn't his
No,
fellowship?
you click on.
Wait,
So when you click on
Inspired?
hope, there's an option for fellowship focus.
his fellowship focus isn't Orlon,
Is there
it's
not?
me.
No.
Yeah, it's.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Mr.
helping.
Derek,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
But
You're
yeah, it's helping
Derek.
Derek because I'm in the forward stance.
So
Yeah.
But it still gets it.
if you click on Enhearten where it says hope point bonus die.
Yep.
Once you click on that, there should be an inspired thing that pops up.
There is, yes.
So click on that as well,
Okay.
because you are inspired because you're potentially helping Derek. Your
Well, of
fellowship
course.
focus.
Not that Derek needs the help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, a little help, always good.
That
Oh,
looks
boy.
pretty good
Looks
to
pretty
me.
darn
Wow.
good.
Ordinary
My
success.
Yeah.
Was that two great successes?
You doubled it. You
That
doubled the
was-
number you needed.
In
So-
that case, it doesn't.
Everyone.
Oh, not quite.
Everyone benefits.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, all allies are affected.
So-
So
Wow.
on your
One extra dice on your next attack.
yeah, one extra dice on your next attack. So everybody will get a bonus on their next attack.
And negates
Eggle,
mine.
beautiful stuff.
That
beautiful
also-
stuff.
That also includes Egil. So if he attacks, he will have a bonus die as well.
You don't have to go into forward stance to do that.
No.
No,
It
no,
affects
no. You can
all
attack him up
allies.
instead.
With 2 great successes, it affects all allies. 1 great success affects all allies in forward stance.
Oh, I see. Great, fine.
2 is everyone.
Everybody.
So next
Yeah.
time I could fight this thing rather than enhearten my friends.
Correct. You could, if you choose. So that is Egil's action. So we move to Sargon and defensive.
All right. So my question is, does that affect me now, or is that gonna be the whole next turn?
No,
after what?
it affects you now. Your next attack.
Okay.
This
Your
is your
next
next
attack.
attack.
Okay, I was making sure.
Make sure, as always, particularly with you, since you have a special bow, that your bow is not equipped because you don't.
Oh, yep,
need
I got
those
the sword.
bonuses.
I got the sword with me.
And yeah, so you would. So the defensive stance automatically applies the penalty, so you don't need to worry about that. Just add a bonus die from because of Egil's and heartening
Okay.
words.
All right. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Yep. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, man.
Oh, unlucky, mate.
Bad roll.
It-
Not
it
doing
was
great
not- it-
today.
Yeah, it's not
No,
lucky.
it was like it went from a 10 to a 1. I'm like you.
Yeah. So this cheeky goblin is quite swift on his feet and manages to deftly kind of just lean to the side as you slash at him. That brings us to Orelon, who also will receive that bonus die.
Yeah, overall aims his bow against the goblin by Egil, as he knows Egil is not very combatant like the rest of us, so he's not trying to
Okay.
Egil from goblin fire.
I wouldn't
So
worry
it's-
about it.
It's
I'm
very
probably
pleasant.
facing the wolf next.
And a bonus die here. Let's see.
Yep.
Roll. Ooh.
Jeez.
Oh, man, a living.
Wow!
Ooh.
Extraordinary.
Wish
Yeah,
I got
nice.
that. That would have been nice.
That is an
Okay.
extraordinary shot.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you're not
added
kidding.
one pierce to my first special success and a heavy blow to my second success with my arrow.
I wouldn't do Pierce because
You won't
you
do-
rolled
okay.
a 1 on the feet die, and so that'll just improve it to a 2. The only time you really want to
Okay.
use Pierce is if you rolled like an 8 on the feet die, because then you can
okay.
turn that into a piercing strike. Or no, I'm sorry, a
Okay.
9.
Okay, then I will do a heavy blow on both. Let's submit.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Wow!
So how do you kill that goblin?
Like that one movie shot in Fellowship of the Ring with Legolas is shooting at a goblin across the chasm from the bridge of Khazad-dûm or the stairs of Khazad-dûm. You're straight through the edge, and the goblin just falls down to the floor.
Just okay, nice.
He sidestepped
All
right
right.
into the arrow.
Egil looks somewhat surprised.
Now, unfortunately for all
welcome.
of you, Garaf is who comes up first on my list.
Ah,
So,
damn.
Oh, boy.
Garaf is not a normal creature. I will tell you just openly, Graf has a might of 2, which means that Graf receives 2 attacks. However, in addition to that, Graf has some hate abilities, which they use in addition to their attacks. And I am going to use one of those abilities now, which is Strike Fear.
I've got hate for Graf, it's fine. I've got some hate back for her. But what it means is this intimidate foe thing down the bottom, that doesn't work on her because she's got 2 might, right? That only works on people with 1 might.
Not unless you roll high enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, right, yeah,
with,
if you get the 2 T's, yeah, that's right. You can get her if you roll the 2 T's, got it. I see.
Yeah. So, just so we're all in the clear, I'll go ahead and pop that over in the chat so you can see it. Spend 1 hate to make all player heroes in sight gain 2 shadow points. Dread.
Ouch.
Those who fail their shadow test are daunted and cannot spend hope for the rest of the fight.
Do I have to do
Alright,
that
so-
manually, or is that done that for me? I do that manually, right?
No, so what you'll need to do is all of you need to go into your character sheets.
Mhm.
And this is a dread, is it not? Yeah, this is a dread shadow test. So you're going to need to click on Valor, which
Valor,
is near the
okay.
top of your character sheet under Heroic Stature. Just click
Yeah.
on the word Valor, that'll bring up that. And you have to make a Valor test.
I have a question. Could
We could
I
spend
use
hope on this.
my Folk of the Dusk blessing on this, or no?
What does the blessing read specifically? Read it out to me.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I could do that for you.
Yep.
That's why I love to ask and see if it would work.
Can we use hope on this?
I believe you can use hope. I'm gonna
Okay.
say yes for now, just to get it out of the way.
I'm going to use
Okay.
one.
Cannibal
that's-
use hope, yeah.
Not
Um,
correct. We'll adapt later.
It's given us the option to do it, and this is very well like integrated, like so that everything works the way it should. So imagine if the sheet's letting us do it, we should be able to do it.
Okay, it says
Sure.
so while in the sun, the elves of America find themselves a greater ease in moonlight or sunlight or among the shadows of the forest. Their senses are keener, their burdens are lighter, and their movements are sure and graceful. So when you're in a forest or at night, you can spend a 1 point of hope to achieve a magical success on a skill roll.
This is not a skill roll, so no.
I
you do
just
not.
wanted to make sure.
No, yeah, that's fair.
I will actually say that Egil, as you all know, is a barding, and we've lived under the shadow of the dragon
That's right.
for centuries. So we are stout-hearted, and therefore valor rolls are favoured.
Very nice.
Yeah, so your valor roll
Nice.
is favored.
I will
Alright.
spend a hope.
Oh,
I don't have anything in this, do I? Because I'm a dwarf and dwarfs are badass.
right.
If you
Nice.
spend hope,
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you will be able to count yourself inspired because of your don't you have shadow lore as one of your distinctive features
Not me,
or
no.
something like that? Yeah,
Distinctive
Oliver,
features.
what's your,
I've
what's your
got-
distinctive features?
I've got willful, fierce, and enemy lore orcs.
willful.
Yeah.
I'll give it
I've
to you
got,
for
I've got
that.
shadow lore.
So that would have applied for you if you
Yeah,
spent
so
hope.
your firm in
Which I did.
temperament and belief, and I usually base my actions solely on your own judgment. So that means I don't care what this thing's screaming at me. It's not going to scare me. So you let me use that, yeah?
Yeah, so if you spend hope, you can count yourself inspired.
Oh boy.
Okay. So I've spent a hope, so I'm going to also hit the inspire button, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, that looks like it might be decent.
Okay,
Yes, 17.
success.
That'll do it.
Yep. I missed
So
mine already.
So I am daunted. So I need to add, is it to add 2 permanent shadow points or temporary shadow points?
well, they'll be temporary, so whoever failed, you're definitely going to add 2 temporary shadow points. And you are daunted, which means you cannot spend hope for the rest of this fight.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
so
it
we all
says I'm
gain
mi-
shadow
it-
points.
it's-
Yep.
It says I'm miserable now. What does that do?
Oh no.
Heaven knows I'm miserable now.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I'm still trying to find the shadow test. Okay, 137. There's a lot happening now.
There's a lot going on, folks.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm just trying to make sure how much do you resist. When a shadow test is passed, the hero reduces the number of shadow points gained by 1 point on a success, plus 1 for each T success item roll. So, Arathil takes no shadow, Orlan takes no shadow. Derek, however, suffers 1 point of shadow.
I get 1 even though I got the success.
Even though you succeeded, yeah.
Need 2 to
But
negate it
you
completely.
succeeded at the test, so you're not daunted.
Right, aye.
You can still spend hope.
Yeah.
It
Cool.
is only
So I'm at-
Egil and Sargon who cannot spend
Well,
hope.
that
for
sucks
the
because my
remainder of the
shadow's now
encounter.
4 and my hope's at 5, I think.
Oh yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, I gotta be careful.
Now, miserable.
Where does it say
Since
hope?
Sargon is
Oh, yeah, 5.
miserable,
Shit.
seriously, that's not in the index? That really should be in the index.
Put that on there.
So, first of all,
wow.
let's go ahead and activate it on your sheet. So, you're gonna hold the Alt key and click on Miserable, which is right there under Shadow.
Okay.
So, and the system should do it for us, but just so you're aware of what it does. Miserable. Oh, thank goodness, it's on the screen. When the number of shadow points are equal to or above the hero's current hope score, they become miserable. Right. Miserable player heroes automatically fail if they roll an I. So that's what miserable does.
Okay.
Is if you roll an I now, it's an automatic failure, whereas normally it would just be counted as a 0, and you could still potentially succeed depending upon what the skill dice rolled.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about it. You've got it activated on your sheet, so that should do it, whatever you need to do. Okay, now, having used its shadow ability, it now gets to attack. Because it is not engaged, it has to choose who it's going to attack.
Hey, choose me, you big hairy bastard. Come on, let's go.
I insulted it.
Call that
You
a
did
beard.
insult it.
That's no beard.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
the
you
whiskers.
insulted it.
Yep. The Marathons are doing it in though.
Oi, come back here, you.
Yeah, but Egil's a man. Egil's just a man.
Egil's not just a man. Egil is my man.
All right. I mean, I don't know. Whatever y'all
really
do in
funny.
your can, that's your own problem.
This is bromance.
Okay.
I love it.
So, he will attack you. She will attack you, and she has 2 attacks. So I'll just go ahead and use both of them, which are all effectively the same, but it's fine.
More of a
So-
babysitter relationship than a bromance territory.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a failure.
Yes.
She rushes up to you and snaps at you with her fangs. How do
I laugh
how
at
do you
her.
avoid that? You step to the side and laugh at her. Okay.
A wee Michael
Well,
Jackson
I-
sidestep. Ooh.
I
That
think
maybe was not the right
Oh.
choice.
Oh.
Her first rush, actually, she tripped over the goblin that was lying in front of me.
Oh, okay, sure. And get stumbled on it. Perfect. Unfortunately, when she lashes out at you with her claws, she does manage to strike. You're going to need to make a protection roll.
Just remember Bilbo's line: never laugh at a
Okay.
live dragon.
It's not a dragon.
So, yep, you got it. Oh, unfortunately,
Oh,
you
dear.
are wounded.
Uh-oh.
So now you need to make that injury roll.
Oh, geez.
Oh, Egil, what are you doing?
Well, I distracted the wolf.
Oh, no.
Okay, not terrible. That could have
Severe
been much
injury for
worse.
2 days.
Right?
I think that's probably automatically activated on your sheet. Let's double
Should be.
check.
Let's have a look and see.
Oh no, I need to apply everything, so I'm just going to apply everything. Apply all damage and states. There you go.
Yep.
Wounded 2 days. Yep, that's on there. And you have suffered the requisite endurance damage as well, which was only 5.
Indeed.
So could have been much worse. You are still standing, and you are unfortunately wounded. So
No.
that's Garaf. That goblin is dead. I'm going to delete him. Orc soldier in front of Erithil lashes out at you with his scimitar. A nasty looking scimitar.
Oh, that wanted to go into the one. It wouldn't have made a difference. That's a good roll.
What did he roll? A 1 on the feat die? So yeah, Pierce isn't going to help. Are you wielding a shield? You're muted, but I think that was a no, you're not.
No, he's not.
Okay, fair enough. Then we're just going to go straight to the heavy blow.
Ouch.
It's only 6 damage. You'll be
you-
alright.
Yep.
You take 6 points of damage as he tries to strike you with his notched, rusted and pitted scimitar. Then we have a goblin who has ranged weapons, so he is going to actually take a shot at Orlan up top.
Mhm.
All right.
How dare he?
How dare he indeed.
Well,
There, this motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's missed.
Oh,
arrow.
oh.
Pings
was
off of the
close.
wall next to Orlan.
Those elves are quite hard to
as
hit,
he
like.
misses.
Yeah.
The second archer is also going to try and attempt a shot at Orlan.
I think Max's character's even slippier than that. Oof.
Well, as I
Ping
got
again off of the wall.
Very nice.
Very nice indeed.
And since these goblins hate elves, we'll go ahead and spread the love. The last one will try to take a shot. Oh, sorry, there's 2 more. They will try to shoot Sargon, I think.
That's not fair. Everybody hates elves.
Okay.
Well,
You
Derek,
don't really
you're
want
wrong.
to be hated by the enemy.
Oh, what a
Unless you
low
do.
roll that was.
Oh, these guys are awful.
Right?
Just the worst,
You
which
need-
is good for you.
When you roll that
Oh,
thing
and the last one
slowly.
is in front of Sargon, so
Yeah,
he's
it's- yeah,
definitely
it's-
going to attack Sargon.
Yeah, but he
but
gets a
he's
minus
going to
1
attack,
for-
which is knife.
Gets a -1.
That'll not be
Yeah,
enough.
it's already worked in. Awful. Just awful.
Now it's our turn.
Nope. Finally, the
Nope.
last orc soldier standing in front of Derek. We started with Derek, and we end in front of Derek.
Come on,
As
green
this
boy,
orc
let's
soldier-
go.
Takes a big swing with his scimitar.
I'm screaming in his face.
And yeah, you intimidate him so much, you just throw him off his game. He can't hit you. So, round
kill the fucker,
4.
Catherine.
Does anyone want to change their positioning?
Hmm.
Aye.
The enemies still outnumber you, so I'm still going to set up. You can't do that, Derek. Stop it.
Ah,
Move
Give
back
it
to the
There you go,
forward
enemy.
line.
What? Did you join the enemy
Oh.
now?
If I fall back
Uh-huh.
into defensive stance, I could defend Eggle, right? Because Eggle was wounded.
If you fall back into defensive stance, you can defend anyone in close combat.
Okay.
Yeah, but bear in mind that you've got +1 dice from
For your
Eggle,
attacks.
That's true.
your attacks.
So you
Yeah.
attack now and then fall back the next round. Yeah,
Correct.
that's a good idea. That's the attack.
Fight now, rest
fuck it.
later.
Oh no! Everybody is pressing the attack.
Yes.
We're gonna do this shit. We're gonna do this shit.
Now Sargon
Okay.
does not get the bonus die this round. He's already used it. So is Orlan.
But don't I normally get the normal dice from anyways from the?
Oh yeah, I mean being in forward
Yeah,
stance
yeah,
is going to
yeah,
automatically apply.
That's why I
For
did
sure.
that. That's like, yeah, I'm like, screw it. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this.
Okay, so I'm gonna spread you guys out a little bit so I can see who's engaged with who. Cool. So again, we're going to have the orcs. Do these orcs? Yeah, they hate men actually. So they're going to.
I don't blame them.
Go for the men,
The only thing we have in common,
and then
that and
we'll
elves.
have a goblin on Derek and Sargon, and that leaves her and the 2 goblins outside of that. So, Egil is actually at the top of the order now that we're all in forward stance.
In that case, how do I choose my target again?
Hover over and
So
press
you just
T.
have your hover over and press T.
So,
And
Forget
I
what
shall
would be the
swing
one.
my sword.
In front
go.
of you, obviously.
Yakety smackety.
And I have another additional bonus dice.
I think you have the one in front of Erithil targeted.
Hang on a second.
You are
Yeah,
this
my-
guy.
No, I've got that one targeted.
Do you? Okay, my mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks like somebody else. You
Yeah.
guys, some of you have colors that are very close to each other, so it's,
Yeah, I
it's hard
love
for
mine
me to tell
green
who has
because,
what
help
targeted.
me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, go right ahead.
I'm ready for the
Forward
blood that I
stance will be
spill.
automatically applied, so you don't have to worry about that.
I just add an extra bonus dice for the fact that I'm.
You are in Hurton by yourself.
You
yes.
rallied yourself.
Okie doke. Here's hoping.
Oh,
Oh
Damn it.
no!
Still a hit.
It's still success.
It's
Hey,
no success.
It's not an
Still a
automatic
hit.
fail on the thing because you're not weary. If you're weary, that's an automatic fail.
Hmm.
Did that apply? Yes, that did apply. Okay. So yeah, keeping in mind you haven't killed him, go ahead and describe how you attack that particular orc soldier.
I rushed forward into the front line, and he was leaving Derek because he was obviously terrified of him, and blundered in front of me, and I caught him in the midriff with my sword. as I
Oh
rushed forward.
man!
Nice.
Beautifully done.
okay.
Beautifully done.
Speaking of Derek,
Yeah, like it's like your big guy left, and you got this little guy come up, and he's like, oh. He's
comes the whirlwind.
I'll go for this guy this time.
okay. Well, you have to. He's the one engaging you. Yeah.
Right enough, they choose, not me. So give it a big swing with the thing again.
You get that bonus. Don't forget that.
I've got a bonus, right?
Yep.
Yes, can add a bonus die.
So I've already got one, but that's from being in forward stance. Does that mean
Yeah,
I add one
correct.
more? Yeah.
So you add
Because
another
you're
one.
in heart.
Okay. That'll do it. Eh?
Good
Dude,
that
that's
you
a great
did.
success.
25,
It's a great success.
and I've got the heavy. I'm taking heavy blow.
Okay.
15.
15. That's not a bad blow.
wow.
So how do you kill him?
Oh, so this is one of those times where I go round one way, but then I go the other way. I do like a figure of 8 forward swing, and then come round with the double hand overhead, full on straight down chop, and just cut him in half.
Love it.
Nice. Okay. So that brings us to Erithil.
Then start winding up
All
for the
right.
next one.
So Erithil is basically just gonna overhand strike on this goblin or orc in front of him. He's wanting to get at that wolf.
Ooh.
Oh, for God's
unlucky.
sake.
Oh!
It's still a great
Still
success.
Oh,
a
is it
hit.
still enough?
Still a great success.
You got a 6
Yeah.
on the D6. Nice. It's a
Boy.
good roll.
Uh,
With the eye, you still got a great success.
Yeah, again, see, the eye only counts as a failure if you're miserable.
right.
Otherwise,
rolled
it's
it
just
twice.
a 0.
It's just
I've rolled it twice so far this
Yeah.
session.
Aye, it's a 0.
And the good news is
it's a
once
zero,
you start gaining notice, eyes rolled in combat don't count. It's only eyes rolled outside of combat that gain more notice.
Where's my? I need to roll damage.
Don't you have? You should have something there where you pick like heavy blow or something like that for your attack.
There should be a pop-up, after you roll a great success, there'll be a pop-up.
I don't have anything.
Oh, did he take swords instead of?
Oh,
the
you
weapons?
just rolled swords. You didn't. Roll your
jeez.
actual attack.
Shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, you've done a swords test instead of rolling an attack.
Tell you
Doesn't
what,
matter.
let's roll the attack and let's just see what you get using
Okay.
your actual weapon.
Yep. I rolled the wrong one. Stupid.
That's fine.
This-
If it's
who
better,
knows,
we'll
you
keep
might-
it. If it's worse, I'll go off the first one and we'll figure out the damage. It's
There
fine.
we go. Ooh, that did it.
Yeah,
same
it's
thing.
So
it's a great
effectively the same
success.
roll.
Yeah, that's doing pretty good.
And so heavy blow. Submit.
12
Whoa.
damage.
There we go.
Has it already taken? Is this one
All
already?
right, how do you kill that orc?
Oh my God! Yes.
He just, overhand sweep and just downward strike, cleaves the helmet and, kind of kicks the body aside and points Aranar
Come on,
at the
bitch.
wolf.
Derek approves.
Nice.
I call out to
I
Sorry,
Gareth.
God.
come for you.
I call out to Gareth. You see why this orc ran away from Derek?
So,
That's
it's
going to happen
it's
to
that-
the rest of your men too.
Well, I could say for my character is that he's more like the cheery, happy young guy kind of thing, like teenager, but like older elf kind of like mentality kind of thing. And he kind of like with the roar and stuff like that, his face comes somber, and he just has his eyes kind of go like narrow, and you can see a little blackness come under his eye, and that's why he kind of like walks forward to the goblin, and sitting there and just runs at him, and swings his sword at him.
Okay.
It just. They're showing it like it with the shadow affecting him.
I like that.
All this blood is up.
Well, you can
Yep.
wash the shadow away in Blood Saga.
Wee bit shadow's good for an elf if it does this to him. Aye, that'll do it. That'll do it, boy.
So that's a
There you
hit.
go. Good hit.
That's still 4. So he just comes out and wings.
So
him.
yeah, how do you strike him? Keeping in mind he's not down.
Oh, I know he's not dead. As it is that he kind of just like you see him flashing, and it's not elegant as a normal elf, but it's more kind of like more just I would say more animalistic, and he kind of just like this feral look to him, and he kind of does like he like trying to killing blow is just enough where it does hit him on the side of his armor, and then you see a wing of blood just come right there, and Icar comes out.
Nice.
I like it.
Okay. That brings us to Orlan.
Come on, brother,
Alright.
kill another one.
The mud elf's a bit feral when you hurt him. I
Hey,
like
hey,
it.
you can kill the elf. I did. I already did. The goblin. I already did some
Shoot
damage
the
to him.
wolf.
Yeah, I'm shooting the wolf. I can't target. There we go. Now I can target. Yeah, and seeing in action you sleeping and me knowing what a hand of Sauron from Tales can be dangerous. Entirely in the wolf. And yeah, let's see. With my 3 fingers, yes. And I will spend a hope die, 1 extra dice.
There you go.
That's all right.
Let's go there at all.
Okay.
Let's see. And roll.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Lucky me.
Wow.
So Garaf just gently steps to the side and kind of just huffs at that the arrow that struck the ground and just kind of skittered off.
Well, she has 2 free opponents right there, so.
So that brings us to Garaf. Garaf, since you deigned to fire an arrow in her direction, will spend a hate.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I'm curious to see what this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm very
It'll
curious
just
as
be
well.
to
Let's see.
attack.
Oh, you've seen
anyway,
this
watch.
before.
We've seen this before.
Oh, we've
It's
seen this
to-
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's to use a ranged attack, basically.
She can attack any player hero in any combat stance, including rearward and disregarding engagement. So she leaps over the rest of you and runs and seems to run almost up the wall to get to the ledge where she will strike at Orlan.
Uh-oh.
It's exciting. Let's see. Come on.
You'll be fine. Ash, look at the ones. Look at the ones.
It's the one. Yes. Yes.
Oh!
You see those 2 sixes?
Two sixes,
I know.
two ones.
When I saw the one, I'm like, yes.
So if you've ever seen those videos of people working with extremely athletic dogs where they have the dog like run
Yeah.
and like run up a wall
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
leap
yeah.
and snap at something and then
Yep,
come down.
It's
That's kind of what she does.
yeah. It's not the
she-
German Shepherd, but it's the other one that's like that.
She runs up the wall and takes a snap at you, and you just barely, you can feel the heat of her breath as you step back from her maw, as she then rebounds off of the wall of the cavern back down right behind Derek. where
Oh,
she will take
no.
her
Oh,
second
buddy.
attack.
There you go. There you go.
Oh boy.
You want that thing in your face, right?
And she says, perhaps low enough that only Derek can hear as she lands behind you, "You small thing,"
Crunch,
and
crunch,
snaps
crunch,
at you.
Oh, ooh, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah,
Need to make
five
protection
damage,
roll.
five damage.
I'll make a
I mean,
protection.
you got tough armor.
I do.
You do. You
And I
are
roll, and I
protected.
roll a 10. 27 I rolled total.
You are still, however, going to take the 5 points of damage as her massive maw clamps down on one of your biceps, and your armor, your mail holds.
And that's
But you
automatic.
can feel... Yeah, well, I'm taking it off now. You can feel the pressure as she tries to basically tear your arm off, but is unable to.
She'll need to fight harder than that to get through a dwarf.
Alright, that brings us to the Orc Soldier. The Orc Soldier...
Derek,
One left, Orc.
Derek is now weary.
No?
Yes.
Oh, it says Derek is weary.
Yeah.
Is that, what's that, less than
Oh, yeah,
half
so
hit
you-
points?
Yep, so you're going to need to go into your character sheet under...
Wait. Oh yeah,
it's already tracked it.
It's
Yep, already
endurance
got it for you.
lower than your load that makes you weary, isn't it?
Correct.
I
Yep.
could drop something that's weight
Your
1, and
Do you have a helmet?
I could drop my.
You could drop your shield, you could
I've
drop your
already-
helmet.
I could just drop my shield instead of unequipping it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's already
No.
unequipped. You haven't
Yeah.
dropped it.
You have
I
a
think
helm?
you just kind of slung it. But you could drop your helmet.
I
We'll
could,
worry about that when we get to the
I
next
can,
round.
I can drop.
Um,
I can drop the shield, and then that'll unweary me.
No, it's already because
Already
it's not
unequipped.
equipped. It's not being
It
counted.
doesn't count if it's not equipped, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So effectively, that's why I was saying you need to drop equipment when you're no longer using it, so
I'll throw
that
a
it comes
spear.
off of your load. But we'll deal with that when we get back to you guys' actions, because you can do that as a part of your turn. For now, Egil's fancy boy orc here is going to attack. Unfortunately, he does have a hatred of men, and Egil is a
Ooh.
man, so he is going to be favored in his attack.
That's nice of you to say so.
Oh, jeez.
So he does strike. This will just
Eggle's
be with a
already
heavy
wounded.
blow.
Only
So
6.
Egil will take a total of 6 damage, which I think is not enough to take Egil down. No.
Well, no, of course not.
So he lashes out at you with his scimitar, and perhaps you take a step back or fend off his strike with your own blade, but you could definitely feel the weariness building from the continuation of this fight. As we move on to a goblin archer. these archers, yeah, these two are all in on taking down Orban. So they're gonna keep shooting at Orban.
Ooh.
Oh, no, he's not
Uh-oh.
You better be.
Oh, he killed himself.
He's not
Yeah.
dead for no reason.
Keep dancing, Elf.
What-
Keep
what it
dancing.
is.
Keep dancing.
Ooh, we get a hit.
Oh, failure.
Oh, no,
Nope.
we don't.
It's a
we
failure.
don't.
No, I was looking at the wrong thing. My bad. That is a miss.
Yes.
Oh, don't scare me.
And
like
then the
that.
second one will also take a shot at Orlan.
Ooh,
a
miss. Nice.
Yep, that's a miss.
So
I'm
they're
so limbo.
at this point. I don't know if you're even moving. You're just arrows are hitting the walls next to you, and they're just ineffective.
I think that
Um,
when you did it was against me.
He's Michael
think that
Jackson.
second archer-
He's moving like Michael
I
Jackson.
think that second archer was attacking me.
No, it
Well,
says. It says
I'll
target
attack
Orlan.
you now. They were out of order, but it's fine.
No,
So
it's
I'll
fine.
have the last one attacks you with a jagged knife.
Oh,
And
no.
fails.
Oh, that's right, Gandalf run. Whew.
Yeah,
And
Gandalf
the
is
room for
bad
him
for
is
that.
a 0.
Yeah,
That's
one.
a zero.
Yep.
Oh, for some reason I saw his
So-
5 Sauron. him. Oh.
You all managed to survive another round
Oh yeah.
Few
against the
goblins gonna
superior
fight against the other
force.
guys.
Oh, but the force is no longer superior, as he is dead, and he.
You know
is
what that
dead.
means, don't you?
Mhm.
We get to choose our engagement.
You do. So first, let's deal with position.
Positioning.
I'm staying where I'm at.
I'm moving back to open stance to encourage my mates. Again,
I stay
Oliver.
where
well, we stand a chance of fighting Gareth now, don't we?
Yep.
So I need to encourage
Oh,
you to.
I feel like somebody is going to be attacking Gareth.
Oh, you better believe it.
I you know what it is? How about they roll? How about they roll off and see who gets to do it?
A herd of wild elephants couldn't hold me back.
So that
Can
that
we-
is a
can we both
limitation
attack
that
her?
you have to keep in mind. No, you both, as long as there are enemies to target, you all have to engage separate enemies.
Okay.
Only when there are no more enemies to target can you decide your engagements where multiples of you are attacking the same enemy. So in this case, we will, just to make it easier, we'll declare targeting based on the order, based on your stances. So Derek does actually get to declare first. I assume you want Garaf.
No, I won't get that.
Okay.
Yes, you want Gareth.
Arathil, who do you want?
Arathil's going after the last orc.
The last orc. Okay. Sargon.
I'll keep fighting the same goblin that's right there. I got it highlighted. I'll keep fighting that one.
Okay.
Because I already wounded him anyway, so I want to.
Because you wounded him, sure.
Yep.
Egil.
I wouldn't want to distract either of those two goblins from shooting at Orlon. They're obviously having great fun, and he's having great
You
fun.
got-
He's having
You
great
gotta,
fun,
you
don't
gotta
you?
have one of them, and they're both
Well-
at, essentially full health. So
I mean, if one of them's rushing me, then I'll just have to ignore it.
yeah, you're in the scrum. So like you have to, you
Yes,
do have to
quite,
fight one
quite.
of them. Yeah.
Well, I don't
Okay.
have to fight him. I'm going to encourage my mates.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's fair. But you have to engage one of them. All right. So, Derek, you get to attack first. What are you doing?
Right. What's the hope
You need to
situation?
drop some well,
Cool.
you need to drop some
What's your
equipment
shadow?
first.
Your hope situation, I think, is not great. If you spend
Grim.
one more point of
Don't you-
hope, you're miserable.
Don't
You
you
don't
want
wanna be
to
miserable,
drop
bud.
some equipment first?
I'm
Yeah, I
dropping.
think you also wanted to drop some equipment.
I'm dropping a
Drop
spear
it home. No, that works too.
because
Is that
it's
enough?
load 3, so that should put me down load 15 now.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I've got 2 space. Yeah. So I'm dropping a spear. I'll drop a spear to the side.
Okay. You're no longer weary.
But I'm thinking I can't really spend hope on this, can I? Because the situation is I have got.
Nope.
If you spend hope, you're going to be down to 4, which means you'll be miserable.
And because it's lower
It's up
than
to
my,
you.
because it's higher than, well,
It's
it'll
equal,
be
to
equal
or
to
below.
my shadow. Yeah, right.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to spend hope then. I'm just going to go for the swing, two-handed boy. Oh, I need to target the token.
You got
I do want to
this
remind
command.
everybody. I mean, I know Derek's going for the campaign achievement, but I do want to remind everybody while you're in forward, you're getting a bonus die to hit them, but they're also getting a bonus die to hit you.
Right.
Oh,
Oh my God!
we need this.
Oh my
dude.
Oh my
The
god.
piercing blow. You got to do a piercing blow. You got to have.
He
that.
won't.
I've
No,
got
it
two-
won't
I've got-
work
I've got-
because
I've
he's
got-
only got a 1 on the feet die.
I've got 2 heavy blows.
Oh no, he's already got.
I've
a
got 2
piercing.
heavy
Yeah.
blows.
Sorry, he rolled a Gandalf for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
23
Oh,
damage.
okay.
So let's
You've got to do a
its
protection
roll
test.
first. Yeah.
Wounded bitch.
Wolf is wounded.
It takes
Okay.
28 points of damage.
28.
23, I think.
Oh, yeah, 23.
23,
Oh, I mean, that's still pretty good.
Fantastic.
How do you strike her?
How close to
Oh.
dead is it? Like, is it past halfway dead?
She's bleeding.
She's bleeding. So I would say open her up across her chest. You see a couple of ribs. I really catch a good one. Maybe even break a rib a little bit. So you see a broken rib and a big open wound on her chest, and there's blood coming out of it.
Okay.
Man, this is
Gotta
just
make
like,
a note of that.
She's
A
gonna make a
heavy
nice
blow for
carpet.
Durin's folk.
I'll make a blanket out of you, Garaf. Garaf the blanket. You'll make a great
No,
blanket.
she's a rug.
A
She'll
rug,
make nice
a rug. Garaf the rug.
A rug.
Gonna turn you into a rug, you big stupid Doug.
Have I shown you guys the notebook I'm using for this campaign?
No,
Think so?
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Oh, I like it.
It makes great sense.
The Doors of Durin. Okay, so that is an impressive hit. And I will say that she howls in anger and frustration when you strike her.
A howl in happiness.
Erithil.
Erithil is going to strike Leonard and is very much enheartened by that blow. And makes his attack. Alright. 5 damage. I don't know if he was hit
Alright.
before, but
I think both of the orcs had been hit. Yes, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
he goes down on a knee, but then weakly kind of pulls himself back up, and kind of looks over his shoulder like he's looking for a way out. That will move us to Sargon.
As again, he's doing another swipe, and he's just not happy.
Sure. Well, I don't know why anybody would be happy at this moment.
I am loving life.
Woo!
I've never
oh my
been happier.
gosh. Yeah, I think that goblin just woohoo.
So I want to reiterate, when I've been telling you guys not to spend on Pierce, I've been making the mistake of just looking at the 1 next to the feat die on the die roll. Do you know what I'm talking about in your chat card?
That's
If
not the
you-
result. That's
That's
just
not the
positive.
result.
Be right
If
back.
you click on it, you can see what you rolled on the feat die. Normally, you need a 10 or a Gandalf rune on the feat die to get a piercing strike. If you use the pierce result, it increases that by 1. In this case, you still don't want to use the pierce result because you'll just hit a 9, unless you spend both of your things on pierce, which... this is a goblin. You probably want to go for damage. You can just kill him outright, right? But just
Yeah,
keep that in mind in the future that you can
Oh, yeah.
check to see what you rolled before you decide. So yeah, 16 points of damage. This is pretty obvious. How do you kill him?
Oh, so as he's pulling that by, and he sees his friend Derek pulling through, great slash against the beast. His brother in arms next to him cut, the orc up. He stares at the goblin, and as he's playing with him, he spins his blade, grabs it, spins around, cuts its head off, turns back around, points at the wolf. You're next.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Very good. That brings us to Egil in open.
Again, I quote the Book of Bards and point to Derek's cut in the wolf's chest and said, "Look, you can see the heart beating there. Hit the heart." Yes?
Black
Go
heart
for it,
beating.
lads.
So I do have to ask, because of the way Enhearten works, who are you trying to Enhearten with your
I
test?
say Derek.
Because if you just succeed, it'll be for that one
You don't need
person.
to enhearten me. I'm as enheartened as you can get. I've got a hard on. Enhearten somebody else.
No, I'm rallying my comrades. On a successful roll, all allies in forward stance gain 1d.
So it's 3 of us. Yeah, it's 3 of us
Yeah.
you're doing it for.
With a
Then
great,
what
with
does a
the great
single
success-
T do?
with everyone in forward stance? So that's not just
Yeah.
allies. If there's also kind of if we'd managed to rescue
On a successful
Oh, I
roll,
see.
The
I
villagers.
gotcha.
Yeah.
You're right.
They
on a
would also-
successful roll, everyone in forward stance gets 1 dice. On a great success, everyone gets 1 dice.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
To be fair, though, I made this page, so it could be messed up. I'll have to look into it.
Ah,
Could be wrong.
So it still
But
seems
you
Well,
off.
it's-
you wrote it there, so
But
that
for now, it's
that-
fine. It's
that
fine.
is-
Make your roll.
that's the
Make your roll.
scripture of God as far as we're concerned. If it says it there, that's the rules.
No. As a DM myself, if the DM says that it should be something else, it is the something else.
You're a
It
shit.
is. Yes.
I
But
I
we'll
am
leave it
based-
for now.
Whose side
I
are
am
you on?
doing it on Derek because Derek's my mate.
Yeah, it's fellowship
I-
focus.
that's what I'm saying.
Does he get
Yeah, that's what I'm
fellowship
saying.
focus bonus on this?
No, I
No.
don't because
No, that's
I
only when
am
you've been told.
haunted.
Oh, you have
Host
to.
didn't
Yeah,
get
right. You have to
inspired.
spend hope to do it. Yeah.
I'll
Still
do that
looks like a
good.
success, probably.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's a success. So from this, everyone.
I'll-
Sorry.
Everyone
no,
in
that's
forward
success.
stance.
Everyone in forward
Yep.
stance.
That's 3
Yep.
of us.
Next round.
Yeah, and it said
Okay.
great
Well
thing.
All
done,
allies
everybody.
in forward stance,
Well
right?
done, Ego.
Well, it's the 3 of you if you remain in forward stance.
No, I'm
if
staying-
you move
I'm
out of
staying
forward
forward
stance, you won't.
I'm staying the forward.
If Egil moves into forward stance, he will
Well,
also
yes,
get the
I'm
bonus.
going to.
It's all
Yes, sir.
allies in forward stance. All right,
Yeah, 'cause
so
there's only, what, one
that's
goblin?
you, Orlan, still chilling out up on the ledge, arrows shattering around you.
He's moonwalking out
Yeah.
the way. It's Michael Jackson up there.
Yeah, Michael Jackson up there watching the hours. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I will shoot the goblin then at the back line then. I will shoot the goblin. Let's
Okay.
see. Because that's the only one I can target. Let's see.
No, you can target anyone.
Ooh, can I? Okay, never mind. I'm going to
Yeah,
target the
you don't
wolf.
just have to target people in the back. If you're doing range combat, you can target anybody.
Ah, okay, then I misunderstood. Alright, I will target the wolf, and since I'm attacking the wolf, I'm gonna use a hope again for an extra die. So I'm gonna use a hope point.
Okay.
Please. Because I hate the hand of Sauron. Let's go. I did it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great success, though.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah, heavy blow. Let's go.
That's 10 points of damage.
Nice.
Very nice.
Graf staggers,
Hmm.
and you can see one of her rear legs just kind of skitter out from under her as she loses her balance for a moment. But she growls like a deep, rumbling growl that you can feel through the earth beneath your feet, and remains standing.
Oh,
okay.
Oof. Wait, wait.
It's
Not
now her
for
turn.
long. Well,
At
let's
this
see whether
point-
Derek survives.
And I'm not going to attempt to do it myself, because I don't know enough of it to try. But some of you, I would think probably Erithil with Shadow Lore,
Mm-hmm.
possibly the elves, are familiar enough with the Black Speech to understand the gist of what she's saying, even if you don't necessarily understand the exact wording.
Mm-hmm.
But she pulls herself up, and her shoulders kind of bunch up, and her Her spine kind of arches in that kind of aggressive posture as she curses all of you in the black speech,
She's
saying
using hate
that
again, isn't she?
she is saying that your time will come, and that her master will find you. All of you need to make a valor test again.
Oh, boy.
Or wait, can I only do this once? Nope, I can do it whenever I want. So all of you need to make a valor test against 2 points of dread.
Do I get a penalty
I mean,
dice from being what was it? I got the bonus
No,
dice
no.
from being fierce or willful.
Oh yeah, if you spend hope.
Oh, if I
I'm
spend,
You
hope.
probably
spending
don't
a
want
hope.
to do that.
I'm not spending hope.
I was gonna
Automatic
hope for
success.
this.
Automatic
Sargon's-
success.
Sargon's good.
Oh, come on.
Good-ish.
That's one.
I can't. Let's see.
So is this
Oh,
another
nope.
2 shadow?
So if you fail, you take 2. If you succeeded, you take 1.
It's 2 for me.
And I don't see anybody with any great successes, so everybody's
Nope.
taking either 2 or 1. And then she turns and flees out through the main entrance to the cavern,
Oh.
leaving a trail of blood behind her.
Ooh.
Okay. Now, who's left? This goblin archer also flees through the main entrance. And this guy's already dead. And this goblin archer flees. Oh, somehow I missed the orc soldier. He flees as well. They all flee.
Oh, I'm bemoaning no opportunity attacks.
Yep.
I've still got my spear. Can I throw it as they go?
I got a bow and arrow. I can go.
Because you're in caverns, I'm going to say no. Because they... let's go back and you'll see what I mean, because you weren't here
Yeah,
last
I know.
session.
Yep.
So,
It's all right.
oh,
I
you've seen
saw,
it.
I saw
Okay.
the drawing. Yes.
Too bad Orlan couldn't get a final shot at the wolf.
Nope, that's the
Yeah.
wrong thing.
So even I can't shoot from where I am from the higher ground. As
No,
the wolf is
because
running towards the
it's
entrance,
they all fled on their turn of that
Ah,
round.
so they're out
right?
again,
And
yeah.
so you've all already taken actions.
Okay.
If you were in the open, then I might give you all a volley as they retreat.
Mhm.
But
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
because they flee out through the main entrance to the cavern,
Yeah.
you don't have a chance.
All right, yeah. I'd
And
shake off
your
my
foe
blade.
is gone, but still
What?
alive.
I think the orcs and goblins should have to make dex saving throws to avoid slipping in the wolf's blood.
100%.
Oh dear, oh dear. That last Enhearten went to waste. Nasty people.
Well, I clean my blade and I'm sitting there just sheathe it. I can look at Orlon and give him like a fist bump.
I'm gonna
I
yell.
stride
I'm
forward
gonna
to
shout. I'm gonna shout after them. You better keep running and never stop.
I stride
So-
forward to Derek and slap him on the shoulder and say, "Well done, good man. If she had the courage to stay and fight you, you'd have cut her heart out."
I believe they got
As-
away. There you go.
As
Erethel's
the...
just staring at that entrance, just glaring.
Oh, that's weird. Who's in the wrong place? It's fine. It doesn't matter. So as the enemies retreat and Derek shouts after them, you suddenly become aware of, again, sounds of cries and whimpering coming from the pit in the center of the room.
I rush to the to the ladder and kind of fumble it
That-
down and
that'll
call
snap
out to them.
Erethel out of his stupor.
Come, get back to the surface. The Wolf of Angmar has been defeated and had fled in terror. You are safe.
Okay.
The
So
children are waiting for you.
Well, not theirs. You'll
I am
recall
not-
those children in Cran, their parents are dead, but
Right.
they are children of Cran, technically.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
maybe
so
uncle,
you-
aunt or something.
There are 14 of them that climb out of the pit, and thank you profusely. But they seem very wary and very unclear as to what to do next. Until it's weird that I got all those all of a sudden.
It's because I picked.
Until,
It's because I picked up my
shall-
spear, Brian. That's why you got those all of a sudden.
Oh well, then you
Can
need
I
to set yourself to
convince them-
weary.
Yeah.
Can I
If it
convince
doesn't do
them
it
that we are
automatically.
here to help them and to try and do the best for them going forward? Courtesy?
You can't, and that'll be no roll because they recognize you as obviously you're not orcs, you're not goblins.
And we
although
bloodied it up
they,
and there's dead bodies. of
although they
guys.
may not have been able to see the fight, they could hear it.
Mhm.
They heard the proclamations of the she-wolf. They know that you are the ones who drove them off. And so they are very profusely happy. But you'll notice that these are people of the Rudaur. These are hill people. And so they are a bit wary, given that, you are not of their line, as it were. But they are
Yeah.
thankful. And as you talk with them and, try to assuage their fears or any fears that they might have, is there anything else you want to do?
I want to check the tents and stuff to see if they got their supplies and stuff to maybe see
Sure.
recover some of that stuff.
So,
Definitely search the area.
I sit down and breathe heavily and bleed a lot. I'm like, oh,
right.
quite hard.
I presume more on
He's
his
like his
down.
character, he's like in his character picture right now. Sitting there.
I take my helmet off and I put my helmet to the side.
So, just
So
to
I'm not
remind you
really-
of some things that you can do, should you choose to, you can attempt to make some healing rolls
Yeah.
to help
Oh.
with wound times. You won't be able to help Orlon because he wasn't wounded again,
Right.
but somebody might be able to help with Egil's wound.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll help Eggo.
Thank you.
So I've got
Can I assist?
the
I can't really assist him if he's healing me, can I?
so I've got the herbs and dressings.
Not really, no.
Okay.
And it is
so-
a favored skill.
Yeah, successful healing roll reduces the severity of an injury by 1 day, plus 1 day for each T icon scored, to a minimum of 1 day.
Hey, he gets rid of 1 day. That's good.
And then he can have a bonus die for having his special item because he's got the.
Isn't that already factored in? There should be a little green diamond there next to your healing skill.
I don't think it's that kind of a special item. It's his.
Oh, it's your other one. That's right.
yeah,
This
his
is, It's
equipment.
a useful item.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
useful
yes,
item.
you can add a bonus die for that.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to find one that gives me a green thing, but
right.
I mean, I got the staff, so that helps with some stuff.
Alrighty, here we go.
Ooh, that looks good.
There we go.
Yeah, that looks
As
good.
one
Great
day.
stuff.
So, you, Egil, you're able to reduce the healing time to 1 day
Nice.
for your wound.
Very good. I thank my benefactor and suggest that do any of the villagers need healing?
So that's a good question. And as you look at the villagers, some of them, yes, are injured and have been hard handled, I guess you could say. Some of them appear to have lash marks in their clothing where they were likely whipped by these orcs and goblins. Some
Okay.
of them have extant wounds that haven't been dealt with or dealt with well.
Well, I will
Well,
probably have to
Arathel
try
will
and
help best he
persuade
can.
them. Well, I will probably have to persuade them to let Arathel help them
Yeah,
because
because he is doing it.
because he's Dunedain and they're wary of them. Yes.
Yes. However, because of the state that they're in and the fact that you did rescue them, I will give you a bonus die to your persuasion attempt.
Fine. In that case, I will. I don't think I can use my useful item on this one, so let's try that. Okay, roll.
Oh, that
Ooh,
looks good.
hello.
Great success.
31.
Great success.
31 is huge with a great
Yeah.
success. Okay. So we'll deal with that great success in a moment. Sargon, you said you were looking around in the goblins' huts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the equipment that you find in some of them, and the number of pallets and bedrolls you find, there's clearly a larger force that was here. Perhaps they're out raiding, as it were.
Yes.
Any equipment that you find is detestable. It is not something that you would even deign to touch or consume. Their water is a foul, murky, gelatinous fluid that smells awful. Their weapons are rusted and pitted. Their armor is flea infested. Nothing that you would take an interest in.
Are there the remains of the supplies they stole from the village around at all? Or have they been polluted as well?
They do not appear to be present here. However, there's another cavern. that you're not
Yep.
Exactly.
exploring.
We need to check the wolf's cavern.
That's where the wolf came out,
Now-
isn't it?
It is. Now, before you go into that, because of Egil's great success, a younger woman approaches you and says, Master, I'm sorry. They took one of ours out into
Where?
the caves. Not 4 or 5 hours ago, and they've not returned with her. I fear for her safety.
Where did they take her?
She just
Did they
points
take-
over at the main entrance.
Well, I think I will gather the rest of the party together and suggest that the villagers arm themselves with the gear, the weapons the orcs have left behind. I mean, I know they're not very good, but it's better than nothing.
No weapons.
So-
better than no weapons.
Do you want to, again, she was taken several hours ago, so it might not be as much of a time crunch, or it might be, it depends. Again, you haven't explored the wolf cavern. When you tell them to arm themselves, several of them who seem capable do kind of root through the detritus and find a spear or here or a dagger there.
Well,
They don't take any of the armor.
I shall offer them my spear. They can borrow my spear while we go chasing these things.
Well,
I'm wondering-
all of the ones who seem capable of any kind of defensive action find a weapon. So you need not worry about that.
Well, I'm thinking maybe while Erethel's kind of tending to their wounds, that Sargon and one or two of the others can check out the wolf cave. That way
Yeah,
we're
that's what I
not,
plan to
Okay.
Yeah,
wasting
that's what I
time.
was planning next to do.
Weary and miserable. Can anyone do anything about that?
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
Can I enhearten him?
That's not going to do. You can, but it's not going to do anything about miserable.
Will
or
someone
weary.
take my spear? That gets rid of weary.
Erethel will carry it.
Thank you. Shit, just dropped the wrong thing.
Can Erethil carry it?
Should be able to.
That gets rid of my weary.
Yeah, so he's
So a
endurance
spear
20
is
and he's only at low 12.
A spear's 3.
weight 3. So yeah, that's fine for now.
Yeah, he's in good shape.
All right. And again, let's back up on that for 1 second.
Mhm.
Don't do that. Go ahead and pick up all your stuff, Oliver, and realize that if you have to make a roll, you can just drop your spear in that. moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have Aerithel carry it for you. It's just a matter of, you know, if you get into combat or you have to make a roll, just put it down, right? Just drop it, do what you need to do, and then pick it back up. The only place that would be a concern is if you guys are like fleeing, or you know, you're dropping it to climb something and you can't pick it up once you're at the top of a cliff, you know, something like that. And I'll let you know.
Behind.
But as of right now, you can walk around with it, and being weary doesn't prevent you from traveling. It doesn't prevent you from.
I mean, I am tired. I'm bruised up. What I'm actually going to do before I go kick these huts down is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pull out my bagpipes, and I'm going to gently as you can on bagpipes. It's not going to be quiet. There's no really a quiet on bagpipes. It's just not going to be as loud as you can go on bagpipes. And I'm going to play a somber song. It's somber because, not because we lost the battle, but because we didn't kill all our enemies. And that's disappointing for me. Because we didn't conquer all the evil. We didn't kill all the enemies. And that's disappointing for me, so it's like a loss. So I'm going to play a somber song on my bagpipes.
So, who's going to check out the caverns?
I'm gonna check the caverns out.
4 of them will come down and check the cavern too.
So will I.
Orlan.
After doing my song, I will.
If I have time, I will assist.
Yeah.
If I have time, I will assist. But I may be busy ministering to the villagers. I don't know. Am I?
Yep. Yes.
I think
priority.
if you want to wait until all the villagers are ministered, you can go. You know, you can take care of them, make sure that they're ready, and then go into the cavern.
Okay.
Perfect. Well,
but they're also like, we don't know how to get out of here.
Yeah, we'll lead them out when we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Well, I would suggest that Aerithel helps them up to the gallery, because we know that the wolf and the orc went out through the main entrance. They might come back through the main entrance, but if the
they might
up to the gallery, they can hide up there.
I will tell you now, several of the villagers are in no condition to be able to reach that upper gallery.
To go out the main entrance.
Okay, fair enough.
So, looking into the cavern, moving inside, it very quickly splits into 2 passages. And it does take you some time, because these passages seem to go deep. Thankfully, both of them end in a chamber. And just assuming that you'll check both, we'll just kind of go through them. The right-hand passage. Well, you tell me. Do you go right or left first?
Left first.
Drop a stick. Yep. Always go left.
Yeah, left.
Okay. Well, I will stay at the junction and warn so that I can call a warning if anything comes up the other passage or back from the main entrance. Back from the main.
Good shout, Ego.
So the left passage, again, even from the split, they go for a while. We're talking, you know, probably at least a quarter of an hour, if not more, until you find yourself in a small chamber that could best be described as a den. It does contain what appears to be the supplies of the people. Slaughtered and smoked meats, grains. Definitely looks like supplies that have been taken from a village. And there is not a sleeping pallet per se, but like a pile of poorly handled skins, and there are bones scattered around on the floor. This was likely the sleeping place of Garaf.
Okay.
Well, I'm giving a good search around the area.
I mean, other than the supplies from the village, you don't really find anything else that stands out to you.
Okay. Maybe we should get some of the stronger villagers to take at least some of the food back, and we can figure out how to get the rest of it to them later.
I agree.
Have something.
So there is, although it's poorly constructed, there is enough wood and hides making up the orcish huts that any of you could imagine it would be possible to
Like a
build like
stretcher.
a sled
Oh, okay.
or something
works.
and get several people to
Yeah.
transport the supplies on.
Okay.
Like a
Well, when they
traveler.
return to the junction and tell me what they found, they can carry on down the other passage, and I'll return back to the main cavern and organise the those who are in good shape among the villagers to prepare some travois, and then we'll go down that passage and collect what supplies there are, because they need that for travelling back to wherever they're going, whether it's their village or elsewhere.
Right.
Okay,
Okay,
so I will organise that
Sounds good.
and hearten them, shivvy
going-
them along. Yes.
Going down the other passage to the right, you again, it's a bit of a walk again, but it seems like there's no juts or anything you have to worry about. It leads to another kind of den-like chamber. This one, however, contains very little. Bare stone, some newly grown, and some possibly centuries old stalagmites. The floor hasn't been cleared, in other words. There doesn't appear to be any signs of bones, unless they are the dust that covers the floor of the cavern. The exception is the great skeleton of a wolf that lies in the center of the cavern. And embedded deeply in its thick skull is a great spear that seems to be of elven make.
Oh
I-
my god. I walk over there and kind of like, what the hell? Like, hey guys, look what we found.
I go to check the spear as he's holding it. And can I check where it was forged? Like which was it
Do you
forged in
recognise
Eregion?
it?
Yeah, do I recognize it?
I will. So Sargon's not going to be able to, because Sargon is from the Woodland Realm. But I will allow you to make a lore test
Okay, Lord test.
to try to identify it.
Let's see.
That's a success.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yes.
Looks
Oh,
elven
so
to me. I'm not impressed.
You feel confident that this spear was in fact forged in Eregion, and likely for the war against Sauron.
Damn.
It's old,
Yeah, I look speechless and
and the skeleton that it was embedded in the skull of looks to be of a size to Garaf. So may have in
Sauron.
fact been a relative of Garaf, possibly even a mate.
okay.
Erithil's just looking at this in reverence.
So
No.
it's like I look at the other two speaking Elvis. Is one of you good with this?
Be careful with that spear. That spear is old and forged in Eregion. It was used in the war against Sauron in the Second Age.
Yep. Yeah. So he kind of walks over to you and he hands it to Orlon. I think it's better in your hands.
I touch it very carefully, and I have no experience with spear, so. But I know Egil is handy with a spear, so I will see if he wants to use it for the time being.
Egil looks around and well, we could use a pole. Could that make a pole for the travois? No. Oh, sorry, it's a spear. Oh, right.
Egil,
It's a
I get,
walking stick.
it's a good idea, Egil, but unfortunately it's an elven spear and it wouldn't be strong enough.
Ah,
It would just
right.
snap.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I can't believe that.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Quit. Okay.
So it does have
It's
it
made
does
of
have a load
wood.
of 4. It's a great spear, so it does have a load of 4. Keep that in mind. But yes, that's what you find.
I spend some experience to get my spears skill
No,
up.
I would so love to
Yeah.
have you that martial. I would say that would be a great weapon for you. You have your sword and you have, dude. If you kill that she-wolf with that spear, it would make such great sense.
Oh, it would be
Well, a
cool.
great spear requires two hands. There is no one-handed strike with a great spear. It's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
something you would
especially
fend
Oh, yeah.
off a boar with. Like it
Yeah.
is massive.
Yeah.
It's a pull.
Yeah, like setting a pike.
It's
Yeah,
like
You
what
like
exactly.
it like a
Gilgalad
pike,
used,
yeah, like the
essentially.
kind of spear you
Yep.
you set on
But he-
against a charge.
He would take it with
Yeah.
great reverence, and he would dedicate himself to learning it if it was given to him.
So,
I say
so
go ahead.
you
I look at all, like, give it to him.
guys, so you guys, and so anyone watching knows how it works. When you have a chance to inspect it further, which is usually done during a fellowship phase, you will learn the history of the spear as long as you're in a place to do so, such as Rivendell, for example,
Mhm.
or possibly the Grey Havens. You will learn the provenance of the spear. You will learn its primary ability, if any exists. And you may then use that. Whoever wants to hold it and use it may do so. If it has further abilities and you want to unlock those abilities, it literally has to become a part of your character,
Yep.
in which you spend rewards to improve it rather than some other item that you have.
Okay.
So you're unlocking its abilities
Oh, I can see that.
by
Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
that's really cool.
by spending time with it.
That's
So
cool. Like a
it
tune-in.
can also, just so you're aware, if you don't want to go the path of the spear, another thing you can do with such finds is you can essentially turn them in to the a treasury of one of your safe havens. Again, like Rivendell, like Lorien, like the Grey Havens, the dwarves, if you find dwarven make items. And basically what that would allow you to do is then convert it to rewards that you could then apply to your own gear,
Oh,
which you could then
Okay.
name and
boy.
improve and so forth.
Nice.
So
that'd be nice for
there are
Aramar.
things you can do with it, but it's not just as simple as, oh, I picked up a magic item like in D&D and now I know,
Right.
you know,
Oh, no,
everything
no,
it
no.
does and it's perfect.
That would
right?
be yeah,
So-
that would be too easy.
You have to attune to
but
it
it
to
is a
even
good
kind
idea
of
for
work
you to
out how
take
it
it with
works.
you at the very least right now.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
So it's
Yeah.
like you're attuning to it before you even figure out what it does.
A little bit. It's more involved than that, but yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
All right, so
I like it.
So the question is, do we head off ourselves to try and find this lass, or do we try and escort the villagers out and look for the lass at the same time?
We'll try and get it.
I will tell you that based on how Garaf and the remaining orcs fled, you are fairly certain they were fleeing the caves entirely.
And not coming back.
You and they're not going to be like Garaf certainly was not in any condition to set up an ambush for you elsewhere in the caverns. Like she is hurt.
She's
That's
beat.
why she fled.
Yeah, she's beat.
So, I mean, the fact that you dealt a wound to her on top of dealing in an impressive amount of endurance damage, like, yeah, she needs a few days, just like you guys do, to get back to full
Yeah.
strength. So she has fled. You can assume the orcs fled as well because they saw her flee, so they're all probably just gone. So you could conceivably, you think, in your mind, I'm being fair with all of you, I'm not saying this is true, but you all are fairly certain that you can lead the villagers out and lead them back to Cran
Yeah.
without worry of being accosted by Garaf.
Well, unless there's any of the other orcs from this village out in the caverns, we will have to escort the villagers, and well, we must look for this girl. We cannot leave her be.
I agree.
So-
We need to find this girl.
At that point, the young girl who spoke to you says, "Oh, master, she is no girl. She is one of our older. I hate to call her an elder, but she is one of the well, I hate to call her a leader. She's really not well liked, but still she's one of us."
Was
an
she a
elder?
wise woman?
He's an elder.
I asked.
No, she's She kept hens. People really don't like her. She's quite gruff. Her name is Vela.
Vela.
She
Okay.
still
We will
doesn't
tr- we-
deserve to be.
We will try and find her because no one deserves to be.
No one
tortured
should be
or
the prisoner of
killed
an
by
orc and a
orcs.
goblin, no. Not
I
even
do
not even
not.
the worst of men deserves that. We'll find her.
No.
So,
I will keep to myself that if they don't like her, could she be a wise woman who possibly
What-
she kind of makes potions for young girls to avoid unfortunate events? Maybe.
Maybe
we
she's
shall
one
we
of
shall see.
them,
We shall
yeah.
see.
Maybe.
it's true.
I don't really understand that side of things, you know. I'm only a young man.
Yeah, he walks over. You're still young, my friend. And it's like, hey, look, he started walking. I was like, let's go.
I put my hand on Eggle's shoulder and say, yeah, those girls don't have to worry about you yet, Eggle. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
He's
So-
so young.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have had to fight off a couple of offers from the young ladies of Dale. Derek, I know you're not around the town that much, but I'm quite well known there.
Oh, I'm
They
sure
thought he
you
had
are.
AIDS.
You're as fair of face as you are fair of voice. You're very pretty for a man.
Okay, I will let the others lead, and I shall kind of organise the villagers and chivvy them along and help them and kind of sing a song to encourage them as we go and be a right pain in the neck.
I'll play the bagpipes.
So, traveling out, I mean, this is not the way that you came in. So
Mhm.
you are just kind of exploring again. I'm not going to make you make any rolls because you've already dealt with the terrors
I'm
of
not
this,
worried.
this
We've
dark
got-
place.
I'm not worried at all. We have Derek with us. He can find his way
But-
through the dark. I mean, from his words, he knows his way in any dark place.
Right. But there are two things that you come upon. First, and you'll note as you're leaving, here and there you do see the trail of blood, assumingly from Garaf, possibly from one of the orcs.
Before we
So
actually
you're
leave,
kind of. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Before we actually leave the cavern, I will ask the villagers whether they heard anything about that central column, because it looks very odd. Did any of the orcs climb up there?
No, it's they said something about this place being an old refuge from the older days. And an older gentleman speaks up and he says, "Oh, well, it looks to be like some of the ruins we found in around our village, maybe from a time when our people were more than they are now." He seems quite a learned man.
I asked the others whether it would be worth just climbing up to have a look and see what's up there. I mean, possibly there might be ancient knowledge up there, or
think it would.
something like that.
Oh.
Also, when we come back into this area, when we come back to here, I'm kicking these huts over. Fuck these goblins. I'm just going past it and booting them, destroying every one of them, kicking it over, aye.
Sure.
I think
You light them
Erythel
on
will
fire
climb
too.
that
There's a
pillar,
bonfire.
Oh, aye, I'll burn them. I'll launch them all in the fire.
burn 'em on the
So
way
climbing the
out.
pillar at the top, there is a bit of a parapet of a kind up there.
Mhm.
And taking your time to look around, there isn't anything so simple as a message, but there is art. It depicts a time when people lived as protected by walls and some kind of feudal society. You think it might be old Arthedain, perhaps Cardalin, or Rudour.
I shall make some notes, and if there's anything of interest, I shall remember it. I can include it in the song about our quest.
Sure.
Would,
Well, I'll tell you
Q-
what. I will note that you have looked at those carvings, and if anything comes up, we'll come back to them.
Jolly good.
I assume you have a journal and you can take like a sketch or rubbings or things like that.
We all have
Oh
journals,
yes,
remember?
I keep notes of interesting things that I can sing about, talk about, and I shall record that. Yes, I shall thank the elderly gentleman when we climb down again. Tell him what we found, and
Would Kings of Men or anything like that give Erithel a little more insight into it?
The only insight I will tell you that Erithil has is that they are not Arthidane in nature. So if Egil says anything like, oh, it could be old Arthidane or Cardalin or whatever, you are very... No, it's not Arthidane.
Okay.
Like, hands down, you know that for certainty.
jolly good. Right, well, carry on. If you lead on, we'll follow. We'll follow, won't we? I say, looking at the villagers.
So we'll lead them out and try to get them home and see if we can't find this woman.
Right.
Okay, so as I was
sorry
saying...
to disturb you. Yes.
Oh, no problem at all. No, that's a really good idea. That could lead to some fruitful things. All right, so as you exit, as I said, you've been kind of finding your own way, but also kind of following this blood trail from Garaf and the fleeing orcs. You come upon what looks to be... First, you come upon what looks to be a small secondary encampment. There's no huts, but there is a large sack and a fire that appears to have, in the time since you've taken inspecting the goblin lair and then moving out into the caverns. Let's get back to a better image for that. Here we go. You discover this kind of secondary campsite. The fire is burned low, and as you approach, it's still embers, so there's still a bit of light, but as you approach the secondary campsite, you notice not movement, but what sounds like snoring from the sack.
Okay.
Yeah, Erithel's gonna go check.
I think this might be
I
Vela.
I got an error knocked.
Just in case, mate. Aye, quite right.
Okay.
Just in
So,
case,
yeah,
you never know.
How are you gonna kick it? Are you gonna open it?
Oh
What
no,
are you doing?
he's gonna open it.
Okay, so you open the sack.
Not if I
And,
kick it
just
first.
Slit it down the side with a knife. How are you opening it? Are you just opening the top and peeking in? It's
Yeah,
a large
he's just
sack.
gonna open the top. She's
Okay.
Somebody's snoring, for goodness sake. I think he'd be able to react in time if they woke up.
So, yes, there is, as you open it up, a young woman stirs. She's
there
not
you go.
old. She looks rough. I guess if you were fairer than her, you might consider her older, but you would guess this woman to be maybe in her 20s. But she has had a hard life.
And this kid was
by the
calling
looks
that
of it.
old. I hate this kid.
And she's just sleeping. Even opening the sack, she doesn't really wake up.
Does she look like she's been hurt at all? He's gonna kind of just check her for
No,
injuries.
she is bound.
Okay, he'll cut the bonds and just kind of try to wake her once he's got the bonds cut.
So make an athletics test.
Okay. I don't think I'm diving out of the way when she takes a swing at me. That thump.
That looks pretty solid.
So, yes, as you unbind her feet, she does some kind of weird spin and lashes out at you and kicks at you. And perhaps you just stand up and step away quickly, and she's like, "What do you want? What do you want?" Oh, you're not orcs.
Not hardly. Although I have to applaud your spirit. I'm impressed.
Oh, Thank you, I suppose.
Bella?
Are they gone? Yeah,
They're gone.
that's me.
They're gone.
So I'm Erthel, son of Brego. These are my companions. We managed to drive the orcs away and freed your people,
Oh,
and they
well.
told us where you were.
Arathil, son of Brego. I'm Vela, daughter of who knows.
She got manners.
Do you say that out loud?
I mean, that's an interesting way to tell us your mother's a whore. Thanks.
Manners, Master Elf? I've been tied in a sack for hours. Pardon me if I'm not terribly sunny.
I thought all humans
Erthel
lived
is
like that.
giggling at this point.
Even the dwarf cracks
She
a
looks-
smile at this woman. I like her.
She looks past you and sees all the folk of Cran, and she's like, none of you even tried to stop them when they came to take me. Not one of you. Worthless, all of you.
Well,
Uh,
boy.
You wonder why that is?
Mistress, you were all in the hands of the orcs and that wolf. How could they have?
Oh, aye, but none of them got dragged away, did they? And then you
Why
hear
not?
behind you, none of us were calling them names.
Oh,
I like,
just
like
I
oh,
like,
man,
I
my
like
hands.
this woman. I like her. I like this woman. She's my kind of woman.
I'm impressed. You know, spirit in the face of something like that. Just
And the more you look
defiant
at her,
in
the more you
face
can
of
tell, A, she has been whipped. B, her
I like you.
wrists,
Carry
you
this
assume
spear.
her ankles are all burned up from trying to get free from her bonds. Other than that, she seems to be dressed in very functional clothing. You would guess, the just kind of buckskin, kind of tunic. She's wearing pants, not a skirt, as some of the women are. She has blonde hair, but it's blonde to the point of almost appearing gray.
Does she actually seem to be Rudor or a different clan?
If she is Rudour, she's from a stock that is uncommon to them.
Doesn't
that
look
might
good,
explain some of the animosity too.
Maybe.
But Erthel will just, I have, poultices, salves that I can treat your injuries if you'll let me.
She looks at you and kind of raises an eyebrow and says, Oh, do you now? What do you use for them?
And he'll gladly, show her what he's, all of the herbs and everything that he's using, from Athalas to,
Sure. So she'll sit down and she'll pick out a few things, which you can tell very quickly are good choices, right? I'm not going to outline everything.
Right.
She doesn't, interestingly enough, take any of your Athalas, but she does take a few other things, and they are for, minor skin irritants and things like that.
Okay.
And she says, I'll put something together for myself, and she just shoves the herbs in her mouth and starts chewing them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing called thank you, Miller.
Oh, well, perhaps we should leave this horrible, dank place before we start giving thanks round. Master Elf?
Well, that-
Because
They want to
Well,
make sure that
we
you're
should
ready to
think
travel.
twice about speaking with our mouths full, mistress.
Yeah, I guess I should have made that sound more mouthfulish. But she does. I mean, she does, with a full mouth.
And maybe I'll stay with you for a mouth as the eagle says.
Spittle just flying.
Erthel just,
Look, it says right here, she is ill-tempered.
oh yeah. He
So,
we
Because
says
were
in the
making
book.
sure
I like
that you
her.
were able to walk,
I like her
and
loads.
then
I
we
think
will
she's
leave.
great.
oh, I can walk. Shall we?
Let's go. Let's walk, shall we? Can you sing?
So, sing.
Can you sing?
Well, Master Dwarf, I don't know you well enough for that.
Can you walk and sing at the same
Strong
time?
enough.
She pulls out like the cud that she's chewed up and starts rubbing it on her wrists.
Mhm.
So yeah,
The
you guys
Orlon.
head into the darkness again with one more very loud individual. whenever any of you engage with her. And I think we'll take a break there and
All right.
come back in a few minutes and continue on with absconding from the caverns.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, viewers, we'll see you in 5-10 minutes. Stay tuned.
Right.
And we're back for part 2. Welcome back, troops.
Okay, so our company is leading a group of common folk of, what would you say, Ruddish? Rudowrish?
Rudarian?
Hillfolk,
Rudaran?
Rudauran?
Rudarian?
Rudaran?
Rudaran.
Rudaran?
Rudaran?
Yeah, I think it's
Rudaran
Rudar.
sounds... It works, Rudar.
Citizens of Rudar.
Citizens of Rudar. People, folk of Rudar.
Rudari.
out of these
Rudari! I like Rudari.
Horrible
Rudari. Oh,
caves.
that sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you have discovered and rescued Vela, who was taken by some orcs. She tells you as you travel, in none too quiet tones, that they were there were a couple of them, and they were discussing how to prepare her over the fire, whether or not they should dice her up first and cook her in a stew, or if they should just spit her and slow cook her over the fire while turning the spit. And then there was a great thudding, and a growling voice spoke to them in some language she didn't understand, and they left her behind.
Cool.
As you continue to exit the caverns, at this point, you begin to realize that somewhere along the way, the sun had risen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to say a day has passed, which should remove some wounds timers from some of you. Egil is no longer wounded.
Awesome.
3 days for me. Very good. 4 to
Yep.
3.
So how do we get rid of
And-
Shadow? Is that
Not
Fellowship
usually,
phase, I
but
think.
Not,
Yeah, fellowship
not,
phase.
Yeah, it's fellowship phase. We'll get there. So as you are traveling out, the reason why you know that at some point the sun has risen is because ahead of you, in an open area of some kind of cavern, you see a single ray of sunlight streaming down from above. Some crack high above must be right there at the surface. And the sunlight is streaming down, casting an eerie light across an enormous stone figure. A troll wearing a helm with a broken horn, frozen in mid-motion, hand raised as if examining something delicate on his hand.
Oh,
And
good.
you
Check it out.
see the glint of gold
Oh.
Mhm.
from the hand.
Definitely go check it out.
Okay, well,
Somebody
you said it
said
first.
something like
Aerithil,
that.
you're going to go check it out. If you want to check it out, you're going to have to climb the statue.
Okay.
While he's
So
doing
that'll be
that,
an-
I shall be encouraging the villagers, exhorting them, see the sunlight. We will soon be out in the open, and you can enjoy the light of day once again.
Is anyone else approaching the stone troll?
I'm not gonna climb
Yeah,
it, but I'll go walk closer and
Sargon is? Okay.
I'm not climbing
I'm
it, but I'm gonna
going-
approach closer as they do.
Sure.
Yeah. I will go climb
Also,
along with
Arlon?
Arthur.
Okay. Egil, you hanging with the people?
Yes, I'm encouraging them, and
Yeah.
etc.
And well, they at this point it feels almost as like the people are following Egil more than the rest of the company.
As they should.
Well, the rest of the
Um,
company are composed of elves, Dunedain, and a dwarf.
right.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm the only real man in their eyes.
So let's get an athletics test.
What's possibly
from
worrying
Aerithil.
is that they may have lost some of their menfolk and are looking for some replacements.
Yeah, well, Airdel's sitting there is like, "Hello, ladies, how are you?"
Did somebody say that they were assisting? I couldn't. couldn't
Nobody can assist you to climb.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nah,
This is a
yeah, I
single
must come
cat.
along with you just to help you if you need.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. And use a hope. That'll put me at
Okay.
dead even. So.
Dead even
Well-
is still miserable.
Yep. Oh.
What did we have to roll for? So you said
It,
again for
I will
climbing?
I will tell you up front, it's not the end of the world if you fail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what the heck? Let's roll it. Oh, what do you know?
So that's good.
Yeah, you succeed. So you
Aha.
scramble up this troll who's quite large for its kind. And as you're climbing up, and perhaps you already discerned this, you know this is in fact a troll that has been turned to stone.
Yeah.
At some point, it was standing here, and that ray of light came down. It thought itself safe, but the sun just hit the right peak to shine down on the troll and turned it to stone. But as you climb up its back and up its arm, which is upraised, and you get close, you can see there is indeed a ring on the troll's hand that has not turned to stone. In fact, the garments, the helmet, everything is turned to stone except that ring.
Okay.
Ooh.
So he'll, take the ring and he'll examine it, if he can where he's at, see if there's any inscriptions or anything on it, because, clearly it's something special if it hasn't turned to stone with him.
Right. So it's a simple golden ring. It features a rare gray hematite stone and seems to have, and I'll just tell you this because you are Dunedain, it seems to have some workings that look familiar to you in the style of old Numenor,
Oh.
but also possibly from the area of Tharbad, which is where one of the Numenorian colonies was in the early days of the Arthedain.
Okay. So he'll take the ring, climb down, probably show it to, Orlon might be the only other person that would have any idea, about
Yeah,
it.
I'm there, yeah. Yeah, I'm there, so I made it for you. What did you find, Arthur?
I will
ring.
reassure the villagers that our party has just made sure that the troll is really stone. They're perfectly safe.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He didn't pluck something out of his hand.
Right. He just, describes the ring to him and, what he's been able to discern from it.
Without
Yeah.
access to a library, Orlon isn't going to be able to tell you much more.
Yeah, I can't tell much more than you.
This is something you'll have to. So I found out I did something I probably shouldn't have with the staff and the other thing that you guys found.
Right.
You really shouldn't figure out what those are unless you are like in the fellowship phase, like looking at these.
Okay.
It's fine.
sense.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
you guys know what they are now, and that's fine. But this is definitely something. You just won't know what it is until you can do some research.
Okay.
Okay.
He'll,
during a fellowship phase.
put it into like an inner pocket for now. He doesn't, want to put it on yet. It's like,
you don't want to put it on?
Yeah, he's like invisible and non-invisible.
yeah, right.
He's like, no hand? Where'd the hand go? Oh, God.
This is, I think it's, he's heard so many stories of, the Second Age and,
Rings.
Sauron, the Lord of the Rings and all that. He's just like, you know what? I'll wait.
Yeah, I'd maybe suggest you, in Elvish from the others, maybe bring it to your lady, or if I could bring it to Elrond for investigation, maybe.
Indeed.
Sure. Now, I don't want to gainsay you and change how you wish to roleplay, but I do want to remind everyone that while it's conceivable that Erithil might have heard stories of Isildur's Bane, and the elves might have as well, it's not common knowledge. It's also not common knowledge that Isildur's Bane had any power over other rings.
Yeah.
No. Most people
I-
don't even know what the Nazgul are.
No.
Some Dunedain do, to be sure.
I think Erithil would have been more, he knew of, Sauron had made rings, had given them, he wouldn't know all of the details, but it's just like,
Sure.
you know what? No.
I just don't want anybody to base their role playing on too much deep lore that it's possible they may
Yeah,
not
yeah.
know. Right.
Okay.
So occasionally I'll tell you, yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know that.
That'd be nice to figure out.
And he does mention, he says, I am going to speak to my lady and ensure that the Dunedain
Okay.
take these people under their protection. This was a disservice.
Indeed. So there's still a long way to build trust between your people and the Ruda, but that's the first step in a good direction.
So, eventually, you walk out, possibly even stumble out because you've not had a chance to rest, of these caverns. And with very short amount of time are able to reclaim your mounts, who I will say are scattered by Garaf when she exited. She doesn't kill them because your mounts aren't like that, but like maybe they ran off a bit and come back once she's and the orcs are gone. And you're able to lead the people back to Cran, which I assume is the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Place to rest.
And find a place to
Now,
rest,
once at Cran, so the return journey to... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, which direction do Garaf's and the orcs' footprints go? It should be blindingly obvious they weren't hiding the tracks.
Northeast towards Mount
Northeast.
Graham.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
I'll make note of that.
Yeah, I'll make a note of that as well in my wee journal.
Yeah.
So it is currently the 28th of Reth. It will take you a few days to return to Cran. We don't have to make rolls for that. Return journeys are always just kind of not glossed over specifically, but it isn't quite as pressing, right? So, actually, I didn't want to go.
Should we do
straight
a
to Cran.
prolonged rest at some point, or if we're
If
driving
you
a couple
give me a
days?
second, let me check the map. All right, so you are there. With the people in tow, it's going to take you 4 days to get back to Cran. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
No more wounded.
And everyone can make a prolonged rest 4 times. I think nobody's wounded anymore, so yeah, just do a prolonged rest. It should fill up your endurance. Because you will have taken a prolonged rest each night as you camp with all the people.
Can we use fellowship points?
Can we use the fellowship points, or is it fellowship points for a session rather than a
Per
day?
session.
Per session, I believe.
Yeah, it's per session.
I'd like to use one now. I would like to use one.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah,
use another one.
you can do so, but you only have 5 points, recall.
There are 5 of us. What do you get from it again?
So when you
1
go
point
to
of
do a
hope.
prolonged rest, you want to set how many points you're going to use, and
I've
that
already
should
done it.
restore a point of hope.
But it's not going to matter if I do another one, is it? If I've already done one. 'Cause we're resting 4 times anyway, aren't we?
You are, but again, you only have 5 fellowship points.
Yeah, but I mean,
so-
I forgot to press the fellowship point when I've already done the long rest. But it's not going to hurt to do the long rest again and press it this time, is it?
Yeah, no.
Nope.
So
Well,
I'm
here's the problem. You've done it, but you still have a shadow of 6, right? So you're still miserable.
Yeah, but I hadn't done it. I didn't spend any points. I'm going to do it now.
I thought you were at 4 hope.
No, I'm on 5.
No, I did 1. I went to 4 to 5. I'm
No,
still
he's at
miserable,
5.
but
Okay.
And I spent 1 there, so I'm up to 6.
Which is still going to be miserable for you. So
Yeah, because I'm still, it's equal.
yeah,
Yep.
equal or below. So you still have to be miserable.
Hmm.
Sargon is still miserable.
Miserable, but no longer weary.
Yep.
That's true, because your endurance is returned. Okay, so,
Yep.
Might I use a hope point? Fellowship point to increase my by 1?
well, I
Is
mean,
that
there's
what
still 3 points left, so...
I used one. Someone else used one. There's 5,
Okay.
so if you use one,
Yeah.
we can use one each. If it's pretty fair.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to do that, yeah. You'll have to do another prolonged rest, but again, you have 4 days with which to do that, so that's fine.
Right. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and take one just to be safe.
Okay.
Too close to the edge.
Yes.
Is anybody not using one?
There we go.
Well, I'm not using one. I've still got 9 hope.
So there's 1 point left.
Who needs it most?
Up to you guys.
I got
mean,
a 5.
Both
I
you
have-
and Sargon are 1 away,
Me-
right? So
Yeah.
it's a coin flip. Do you want me to do a coin flip?
Flip a coin for us, Brian, for me and Max, please.
Okay. Here it comes.
Odds is me, evens it's Max. Evens it's Max.
Well, no, it's automatic.
Oh, it is,
I only
right.
had you two selected,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's Derek.
It's me.
Derek can use it.
Okay. Yeah, so I will use the last one. And I am now no longer
Okay.
miserable.
For now.
For now.
Until
Okay,
we get
so
rid
you
of
guys
some of the
have-
shadow.
You've returned with the people to the village of Cran. The question I have for you now is, it seems like you guys want to go into a fellowship phase, which I'm more than happy to do. Normally in the One Ring, you generally have a single adventure, and then you have a fellowship phase. During a fellowship phase, you have to be in a safe place. I don't know that I'm happy calling Cran a safe place just yet.
Do we need to
so-
return to Gilrain? Because we were
We have
doing
to return-
this...
Well, here's the
hand in
thing.
a quest.
You were never given instructions to return to Gilrain.
No.
All you were asked to do was look into this. Now, if you want to return to Gilrain, you certainly can. The camps at Anuminas are a safe place.
Mhm.
Bree is a safe place.
Well,
Bree is
I-
a safe
I-
place.
I believe that they need notifying that Garaf got away and was heading
Mhm.
for Mount
I think
Cram.
Erithil wanted to do that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, let her know that Garth is out there still and is now active.
So let's travel to there and then have a fellowship phase.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's not going to be quite that simple. Because there's a lot of dangerous land between you and Anuminas. So, the question I have for you is, if you want to travel to Anuminas, we can. We're not going to get there this session. We're going to end up having a fellowship phase probably at some point in the next session, which is also good because you'll have more experience.
Mhm.
But we will have to do a journey. We don't have to do a stop anywhere, but we have to do a journey.
Mhm.
And you're going to have to pick how to get there. Because, for example, if you go to the map of Eriador, which I will take everyone to now, I've already
Yeah.
moved you back to the ruins of Cran.
Oh boy.
And the
Yeah,
Crown
that's a
Hill.
long way.
Anuminas is over here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, it's
I
not...
was zoomed too far in.
Yeah.
Where's the Numinos? Oh, here they are. Yeah.
Over here.
That's
yeah.
Bree
It's-
there.
That's Bree, and then Numinos is
Bree and
over here.
Anuminas are... Anuminas is
It's
maybe
about the same
1 day
distance.
further, roughly, than Bree.
Right.
Bree would be an easier journey,
More
and then
roads,
we can
yeah.
rest. And
It could be.
travel.
Yeah.
It could be.
And,
The key thing that you'll have to note here is
We
you
don't go to
probably
Fornost.
don't want to go through Fornost.
No.
no,
We come down.
So if you're going
And
to
then cut over
Anuminos,
to
you
the
could go
roads.
north and over,
Yeah.
or if you're going to Bree, you could go down to the road and
I,
down
th-
to
I think we
Bree.
head to
Yeah.
here, and then down
Yep,
the road
go
to
to
Bree.
go to Bree.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah,
to go to
I
Bree.
think that's wise.
Why? How are we going to tell Mr.
Well,
Gilrain?
we can rest and either send, we can go to Anuminas,
No, he's right.
but if we don't,
I think Eagle's right, because we do need to tell the quest giver that we've done the quest first. Let's head to Numinas and make that our safe place. Let's head there.
Okay, so here's what I want to do. I have
So the
given
question
all
is-
of you, I believe, I have given all of you access to the drawing tools. I would like somebody to click on the pencil and use the drawing tools to map out a route to Numinos.
Don't see the pencil.
No.
On the
I'm
left-hand
just
side,
like-
you don't see
No.
the pencil?
I've only got the
No,
6
no.
icons.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Let me double check.
Well, that's a good week.
And the rest,
But
'cause we're
again,
going to have to
it's
take a
just
wide
a
berth.
journey. It's not like
Right.
you'll be having any serious encounters necessarily. It's a journey.
Right.
Let me give somebody access.
Uh-oh.
Who wants to be the map drawer? I'll ask you that.
I'm thinking something like that.
I think it should be our guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think go north and well, it depends. Does Arethil know whether this river is fordable?
Rivers will always be fordable.
It's got to
just
be
a question
somewhere,
of-
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a matter of kind of your journey event rolls.
Now, I'm wondering
Which
if we
case-
want to swing this way, or strike the green way, and then make our way across that way.
I think north,
Well, I think we
over
should-
the hills.
I think we should go north because we've already been south, so let's go north.
Yes, exactly. That is the
What's that?
exact reason, David. That is the perfect reasoning why. We've already been that way.
I
Let's
will
go that
listen.
way because it's new.
I will disagree. As it's more safe
So
to
like
go the
this?
south way by the green way.
Yeah, like that, Brian.
Yeah,
Or
there you
even-
go.
Even so, I've not got the draw thing, but I've got this. I can do this. I think I do. Is
Yeah.
it click? Oh, it's how do you do the thing? Is it
Right
Alt
click, I think.
or Control? I think no. I can't remember. I was doing that a minute ago.
Is it right click or alt?
Control click. Place waypoint.
That's not working for me. But yeah, like that to there,
Uh-huh.
and then straight
follow you.
along. So like what you've done, but just less rounded, more like a straight line up to there. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Alright,
pretty much what
so-
you've done anyway. But no, what I wanted to point out. So like what you've done, but then cut down to the river and then go along the river. I think,
Gotcha.
and then just go along the river.
Hang on, give me 1 second.
So cut down like there. Don't know how I was doing that a minute ago.
Well, I'm gonna make it better for everybody here. Give me 1 second. As soon as I can find it, I know I can do it. There it is.
Aha!
Okay,
I see a
now
pencil.
everybody should be able to draw.
Oh, there we go.
I see it.
Well, everybody doesn't need to draw at the same time.
No,
Right.
you're the guide, Oliver. Why don't you plot out a map? Okay. Okay.
What's that?
Okay. We can work with that. So
It's not the most tidiest of things, but you know what I mean. Just a wide berth around Fornost, and then just cut down towards the corner of the river so that we can go
Sure.
along the river.
Yeah.
Is Fornost occupied by orcs or something?
It's a dark place, apparently.
there have been rumors. It is a dark place.
It's a very silly
Wow.
place. We don't go there.
It's a very silly place.
Oh, is that somewhere from which we should drive the dark? Says Egil.
It does sound good, but we've got a quest to hand in. We have to tell the boss of the quest that we did the thing first, but we should come back and drive. I'm all for it, Egil. Yes, we should. We are heroes. That's what we do. We'll come back. We'll come back
But
for that, Egil.
perhaps you should go to a safe place and have some
Yep.
more meaningful rest first.
Rest
Yeah.
first. We'll come
Yeah,
back
get
for
rid of
that,
some of the
Egil.
shadow.
There'll be
We'll
more.
get rid of some of the
Possibly-
shadow.
There's plenty of days
Possibly
for
Mistress
for
Gilrain
for
can
that,
tell us
Egil.
about
Yeah.
Fornost, can't she?
Possibly.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll be back for Fornost. We'll be back for Fornost.
Okay, so let me start another journey.
How
We'll
can I
call
delete
this-
that line so I can draw a nicer one, a tidier one?
You should be able to use the delete tool on the drawing tools as well. Just select each portion of the line and delete it because you drew 3 different lines.
Draw freehand. I don't know how to make the line thinner when you draw freehand.
You go into the settings.
Oh yeah, see it.
Okay, got all that set up. Good deal. All right, so we are largely good to go here.
Oh, it's still white
Um,
and still thick. I
you
must.
can change the color of it too.
I don't think. Yeah, I did change it, but I don't think I saved the settings. Is the problem? Must be a way to
Oh,
save
yeah,
the
you gotta
settings.
save settings.
Where does it say save?
Does it say configure default?
Yes. Is that what you do?
That's
Right,
what you
okay.
want to select. That's your save.
Okay.
Figure drawing, yeah.
So, see if this comes out properly. Yes, there we go. And then along the river until we find a suitable ford, cross it wherever. So not necessarily there because we might be on the other side of the river, but you catch my drift.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's a wee bit tidier.
Yep.
I gotcha. Okay, so we will need to start. You open that journey again. You're gonna need to make
tidy up
a
the last section.
travel check.
Well, it can wait because I'm not happy with my thing. I want to do it better.
I mean,
be
we're not gonna leave it
perfectionist.
on there for forever.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, that's fine. So make a travel check.
Travel check. We do that from this boy here. Travel, and we go to. There's a thing to open up a journey, isn't there? Journey log.
Yeah, if you want to look at the journey log as you go along, I know you guys don't have
Oh, we don't need to use that. What? How?
access to it.
so
but
how-
no, you just from your character sheet.
From a character sheet, right? Okay.
Yeah. Or you could. Well, I guess you could do it from the company sheet.
What's that? A travel
Mhm.
roll.
For the guide, yes, as a travel
Yeah.
roll.
That should do it.
Okay, so that is a success. It is spring, so you are able to move. Here, before you have an encounter. Ooh, where are you at? You're in. Yep, okay. Close that. Here we go.
Oh, Hunter.
I don't know if that was correct. Oh,
Dark
no, it was.
Lord.
Okay. So, Hunter,
Uh-oh.
ill
I believe
choices.
there's 2 of us, aren't there?
Are we in the Dark Lord Darkland area? Is that what it is?
You are.
Okay.
Yes. You are currently in Darklands.
Oh.
So we'll go with whoever's the first hunter on the sheet, which is Egil.
Yep.
You're going to have to make me a test, which you can roll right there from the company sheet if you like.
Righty-ho. Dun-dun-dun. So, I just click on my hunter.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hunting roll. And no bonuses, so just roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's good.
Great.
Success. Okay, so put that in there. Great success for ill choices. And you are there. Oh, okay, that could work. So as you are traveling, this will be the second day.
Mm-hmm.
So, past some days.
There's the 29th of Reth now.
No, now it's the 4th of
Oh.
Chithing.
So we've done the 4 days travel already.
Well, you already did the travel to Cran. Now this is your
Yeah.
your other thing. So this is the second day of travel. And because you're kind of close enough, we're going to go with this last little bit from that first one. If I can find it, where'd it go? Here. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, although this is targeted at the hunter, what I would like to happen is you're traveling near, we'll say near sundown on the second day. I would like the lookout to make a scan roll.
Okay, that's me. All right. Scan to say. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Why have you not got any extra dice on scan and you're the lookout?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
not sure.
Lookout normally uses awareness. This is a different
okay.
roll. Okay, so you make camp for the evening, and because the scan roll was failed, you're all kind of doing what you do of an evening. I think after this event, we'll have Theodore read his journal, because I imagine he's now journaling and is prepared for it. Or we should have read the journal before, because it was set on a different day, but it's fine. We'll get to that in a moment, Theodore.
Okay.
First, though, we'll deal with this event. You didn't see him on the road, but as you have kind of all settled into the camp for the evening, perhaps someone's cooking, or someone might be writing in their journal. Suddenly, someone appears at the edge of your firelight. He, or they, I guess I should say, is man-shaped. They're cloaked in tattered garments, almost resembling like a specter of the haunted land that you currently travel through.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Let's speed up.
Oh, I shall greet him.
So, we get a greeting from one, we get hands-on weapons from another, that's fine. The mysterious stranger lowers his hood, revealing a tall, lean ranger with shaggy dark hair and piercing gray eyes, untouched by time. Despite his youthful appearance, his face reflects a depth of wisdom beyond his years. He raises a hand. I come in peace, he says. I've been searching for a stolen horse in the Lone Lands and found what remained of it in a pit atop Crown Hill nearby. The tracks there led me a chase, but eventually to you. You don't look like horse killers to me, so I wonder what you're doing in these strange lands.
I'm looking at Gil.
Erythel will stand.
I shall impromptu give him the song of our journey so far.
Yeah.
Singing of the events, the
I shall accompany
doughty
you.
warriors fighting Gareth, the Hound of Angmar.
And I shall accompany you on the pipes, David. Eggle, I shall accompany you.
Erythel
So-
will identify
Well, that will just
himself.
guarantee he can't hear me, Derek. So basically, I will give him the tale of our journey in song.
Okay.
Amazing.
And Marshall?
Erythel will, stand up, greet him, as a fellow ranger. Obviously, this would be a senior ranger, I would imagine, to him.
Younger than you.
And, oh, is he? Okay,
Well, how old are you?
53.
Yes, younger than you.
Okay,
Currently.
so he'll greet him and kind of chuckle and, come, warm yourself by the fire. No, we're hardly horse thieves. But we
He
are
steps forward to
traveling-
take your hand, and you notice a ring on his forefinger
Okay.
of two entwined serpents. One ringing back upon itself, and the other bearing a crown of flowers.
Okay. So
And he
anything that I
says-
recognize?
I don't know, maybe. And he says, "Thank you, cousin. You may call me Strider."
Strider. I am called Watcher.
Watching. I've heard of you.
Now, does Erythel know anything about
No,
Strider
you
at
don't
all?
know who he is at this point.
That's
Okay.
cool. That's so cool. None of us know
That's
who
a
he
cool
is.
cameo.
We all know who
Yeah.
he is, but none of the characters know who he is. That's a very cool
Oh,
cameo.
I'm like,
You're just,
okay, another human.
By
Another
all
man.
means, cousin, please. Rest yourself.
It's just a human. Just another
So yeah,
man.
he sits down with you, and over an evening, he has a discussion with you about. Hang on, camera's losing focus again. Come on, guy. There you go. Maybe. No way. And he's talking to you about how was at least looking for that particular horse, the same horse that you found burned in the pit on Crown Hill.
Mhm.
He's been trying to track what happened, and on listening to Egil's tale and asking a few more questions, he says, "Well, it seems you've dealt with that trouble, at least for now. This is good. I will head on. I had not hoped to find resolution, but I will head on to Bree and go on about my business, I suppose." He does. Let's see. Interesting. Yeah, none of that applies, but I will do this. As you eat, do you offer him food?
I offer him a bacon sandwich right
absolutely.
in front of Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin,
This will make you.
I'm always eating bacon in front of Kevin, and it's to remind him what happens if he doesn't fucking behave.
What his place is?
Aye,
Sure.
Yeah. For those who are watching for the
But,
first
yeah,
time, Kevin
you
is my
definitely
mount.
offer him
My pet boar is called Kevin, and I like to eat bacon in front of him to remind him who's boss.
Remind him of his boss.
Mm-hmm.
So he, thanks for a meal, he offers to prepare, he says, a warming draft for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And as he does, he sings quietly to himself in Elvish, and those of you who speak Elvish recognize that he's singing of Baron and Luthien, a tragic story of an elf and a Dunedain from long ago. Well, a Numenorian, to be true. And once he finishes, offers each of you this draft. It's essentially a tea. It's up to you whether or not you drink it.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's hospitable.
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll be polite. In between mugs of ale, I'll certainly taste the tea.
It's just take a
So-
shot of tea.
There's something about him that doesn't. This feels like there's weight to it. even
Mhm.
for people not as schooled in the nature of things. And on drinking the tea and spending the night with the Ranger Strider, come morning, you all wake to find him gone. His tracks head south for a few yards until they disappear completely, almost as if he left you some knowledge of where he was going, but very quickly decided to hide his steps. And all of you regain a point of hope
Oh,
Ooh,
for such a
fantastic.
pleasant evening.
awesome.
Travel well, kinsman. Travel well. And I'll just kind of say it as he, wakes up and realizes he's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no longer miserable.
Am I in the wrong one?
Or am I?
And I'll eat the bacon
Might be
sandwich
wrong.
that I made him for the
I
road.
know.
He left before I got a chance to give him his packed lunch. Never mind.
Mhm.
Cheerio, Strider. It was lovely to meet you.
That's funny. You packed him a lunch.
It's
Yeah.
like,
You
here's
restored
beer
a
to go.
hope. The least I could do was pack him a lunch. Oh well, I'll eat it. Right in front of Kevin.
Great. Okay. So we need another travel roll.
Oh, was I going to read my
Let's see if
journal
we can
entry now?
actually. Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah, let's
absolutely.
do
Sorry,
that.
Theodore, read your journal entry.
Okay.
This
shall I
is
just say
actually
it
from a
into-
few days ago.
Yeah, a few days ago.
This
yeah,
would have been
so-
from the first night you camped after leaving the goblin lair. But go
Okay.
on.
All right. Sulume 28th, 2965 of the third age of Middle Earth, Orlon, captain of the Imladris. It's been some days since the day we fought the orcs. At that day, my body felt sharp pain and everything went dark. I woke up hazy to see how I lost one of the fingers of my right hand, the ring finger. I need to train and get used to holding a weapon again with that hand. But I was more joyed to see the others by my side alive and well, and most important, victorious against the Shadow's minions. Arafil tended to my wounds. He has become a great ranger, a master couldn't be more proud of that pure pupil as I feel right now, and as a friend. With their help to assist me in moving, we began to move out to seek shelter, where we eventually found where the orcs went. I will be the right thing there. A Rodal village that had been sacked by the orcs. We entered with caution, that entered a great house that must have been the chieftain's home or the gathering hall of this village. Inside, Arafil discovers there are children in the ceiling beams hiding. It seems they have great mistrusts in elves and the Dunedain, which I don't blame them for, from our past conflicts in the days when the Rodar fought alongside the Witch King of Angmar. A boy who looked to be the oldest came down to speak with Derek, and the boy introduced himself as Kunrag, and told us the village where we are is called Kran. After our talk, it seems Kunrag and the children still weren't fully trusting of us after our talk, but allowed us to rest here. Kunrag told us the orcs took their adults to the east, so we decided to follow the trail in hope that the Rodar villagers are still safe. Hopefully, we may find the source of where the orcs came from and stop them. But something that Conrad said about a great beast that their adults has told them has been lingering in my mind. A hand of Sauron, which makes me wary. I hope this is just a tale to scare the children here to behave, but if it is true, then may Erlen watch over us. As my health got better, we set out to track down the orcs and to rescue the villagers. During our travels, Sargon found a shortcut among the hills which greatly helped our journey and increased our chance that we may save the villagers before it is too late. We eventually arrived at the gaping mouth of a cave entrance with some structure. The tracks led inside, so we steel our hearts and resolve and enter the shadows of this place. Everything went calm and without trouble until we came upon wolves feasting upon a goblin. They noticed us and asked us to snack who we are. Derek announced his name, and as always, without a second thought, charged in, and we followed. As the wolves were defeated, somehow the goblin is still alive. I was hoping to retrieve some information from this goblin, but Derek, with his strong hatred against the orcs, finished him off before we could get any information. Sargon argued with Derek, and I agreed with Sargon that we could get some more information before finishing off the goblin. But Derek still stood by his decision that he has made. After that, we eventually came upon an exit up high to see a great chamber below us, filled with tents and campfires. We assumed that the villagers are kept down there, and Sargon descended down to scout ahead, but eventually we were spotted and a fight broke out. The rest, except for me and Eagle, descended down to fight while I loosed my arrows at the foes down below. More orcs arrived into the battle, but something big came from one of the entrances. A great wolf, a hound of Sauron.
Nice.
Very good.
And
very
actually,
good.
I think with that journal entry, that might actually be a good place for us to stop for today.
Oh yeah.
Next session,
All
we'll
right.
continue our
Sure.
journey to Numinos, and then hopefully get a fellowship phase in.
Amazing.
Which we'll have to go over some rules and stuff, but that's fine. That's what
Fun.
learning is all about.
Love learning the
Yeah,
new
it's fun to
systems.
learn.
So close that, get that out of the way, and yeah.
We get our-
So I'll
get our-
hand out experience.
Plus 3 XP, right?
Everybody,
Yeah, we got about like
XP.
what 12.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yes.
Awesome indeed. Awesome indeed. Thank you for that journal entry, Therathor. That was beautiful.
Sounds
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
Thank you for the session, Brian. That was awesome.
Yeah, of
Again,
course.
as always. And thank you, boys, for a fantastic one. Great fun, as always. Max, David,
Yeah, we survived one.
Therathor, and Marshall. Thank you, boys. As always, loads of fun. Cannot wait for the next one.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much to our wonderful viewers here live on Twitch and in a week's time on YouTube when this hits there. We thank you very much for viewing. We hope you're enjoying the show and we love you. I'm RxOliver. This is the gang. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night all.
Good night.